JC here, the High Priestess of the 13 Moons Oracle, coming here today on this Gemini new moon with your spring life purpose reading for June. These readings are time-stamped into element groups of earth, air, fire, and water. So please use your heart and intuition to choose the element that aligns best to you or calls to you. Alternatively, the element can be chosen based on starseed groups, which I'll also link in the description. Please note that the element of ether is the guidance and it is the reading and the energy contained in that, and the activation and integration of any knowledge and your soul's listening. I've already set our circle, crystal grid, meditated and prayed over the cards and cleansed the space. But you will now hear some attunement sounds as we begin. Creator of all that is, we thank you for blessing this reading to be aligned with those seeking more knowledge in the element of air today, earth today. We ask for your continued guidance to keep this reading in love and light. We ask for continued guidance for those seeking water, for those seeking air. And we ask for this guidance to be divinely timed and aligned with the souls seeking this, with the souls seeking these elements within their heart, and to align more to the earth and to nature and to the frequencies of unconditional love and light. We thank you for blessing those coming into this reading on their golden path, blessing all their projects, their relationships, and their loved ones. And that they are unfolded into their highest good, their highest path, their destiny, codes activated, and that they receive the best guidance and love from this session today. Thank you in full faith. So for the energy of Earth, the initial cards that I have pulled will be for all of the elements, and I will go over them at the beginning of each one. So in regards to Earth, I always pull 4 corners, so north, east, south, and west, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Sister Isis, and Mary Magdalene, as these are 4 of my main guides as I walk my path on destiny codes on this planet. So I always bring them into a reading, I always bring them into an anchoring, and this particular set of guidance from them is our guidance through this life purpose reading going into summer. So this will go from spring to summer, and these guidance, north, south, east, and west, will be an anchoring that you can lean into or seek guidance from or seek energetic support as you go forth on this reading. So for the element of Earth, for my group of element of Earth, the season of spring is calling in for phoenix changes. So the animal spirits help to connect us to Gaia, to Earth, is they represent different aspects of the ecosystem. And all of us are made of all the elements, and all of us are energy, information, and motion. And how this resonates differently with different groups is that the Phoenix season either calls for you to burn up and rise from the ashes, so to leave everything you've known, everything behind, identification, resurgence, in regards to the earth element. You are being guided into this resurgence. You are being guided to strip away anything that is not identifying with you fully, that is not serving you, that has been holding you back and limiting you. So this is a very good time to be doing any kind of reflections on your relationships, on your habits, on the things you're choosing in your life right now and where you're feeling stuck. And ask your higher self for guidance of how to get out of things you feel overly stuck in. Because at this time, there's a lot of energy waking up on the planet. There's a lot of psychic abilities. There's a lot of evolution going on under the surface that we can't see as the 5D merges into the 3D. And for those of us that are resonating with the earth element right now, there can be a lot of stuckness in this. But there can also be a lot of freedom if you are open to the changes, if you are open to what is changing for you, if you are here for it, if you are embracing it. You can move through this with grace and peace and ease. Now, a Phoenix energy is also about growing new. It's about rising into your full power. And Phoenix energy, as it pertains to the earth element right now, those of us really resonating in earth lessons. That's why I group these readings into elements, because we're always working with a particular element at the frequency of this planet, and we are learning to master that element. So the element of earth brings in physical manifestations, and when you combine it back to the ethers, and you combine it back to your purpose here as a light worker, as a starseed, you start to bring in the components of merging spirit to earth. We all came down with soul contracts, and we are here to embrace what we decided to come down here and learn, what we decided to come down here and integrate, what we decided to come down here and bring the collective during this amazingly powerful evolutionary time. You need to have access, and you need to be grounded in to your spirit. You need to be grounded into your spirit, and that also needs to be grounded into the earth. And so if you are resonating with the earth right now, that is what you are doing. And then the season of the Phoenix brings in the element of change, of growth, of purging, of purification, so that nothing is holding you back. If you have felt like you've been spinning your wheels the last year, 2 years, 6 months, that is because you are attached to things that you do not want to let go of. Now, does that serve a purpose? Of course, it's our human nature. We make mistakes, we get attached to things. The polarities on this planet pull us into things, and we feel safe when we know something, when we are deep in it, when we are claimed by it, or we are claiming it. So the energy of the Phoenix right now is really calling for you to bring in courage and bravery, and to really look at your life and say, am I living the life of my dreams? What is inside of me calling to me? What is my soul calling for me to do? What is my soul asking of me that I've been ignoring? And for those resonating with the earth element today, that you're going to feel the most stuck. And the amount of chaos or the amount of peace that you bring in to this transition, into this learning, is going to be directly related to the amount of resistance you have to change. Now, it is a Gemini new moon today, so I always pull a moon balancing cards. And again, these are the 7 cards that I have pulled ahead of time to prepare for this reading, to prepare the spread. And it will go to all elements in various ways. So I always pull some moon balancing cards because moon is nature's calendar and we need to be attuned to it. It just balances and harmonizes everything in our being. It balances and harmonizes us to the ocean, to the natural cycles of life beyond human life. So right now, the energies that this moon is bringing in is to clear your mind and to focus on the positive. And you'll notice that this card actually mirrors the moon that we're in today, Gemini. So that is really interesting. So if you want to follow a moon calendar and look where the last quarter is, and when you hit the last quarter moon in Gemini from today, when you get to that cycle, that's when this full reading and cycle of integration will be complete. And the moons move through the house, so you can, like I said, use this at any time and trust that when you've received this reading, there is divine guidance. But right now, because of all of the Phoenix energy moving through your life, what is burning up, what is moving away, what is detaching from your field, what is making itself known that you cannot ignore anymore, the changes that have been calling to you, the guidance that has been calling to you that you've maybe been avoiding. Maybe it's too hard of a change. Maybe you just weren't ready. Maybe you didn't have capacity. All of that has been swirling inside of you, and it is your job to ground. It is your job to clear your mind right now. If you want to have the most positive experience in this, then clearing your mind is going to be vital. But as humans, and especially the programming on this planet, we have really been stuck in patterns of trying to do all of this ourselves and using our own chi and life force energy. And this reading today, this season of Phoenix is calling on you to partner with Creator, partner with the Holy Spirit, partner with your higher self in everything. So when you need help, if you need to clear your mind, reach out to Creator. Creator, my mind is really overwhelmed today. I am really overwhelmed with my life. I'm not sure what is my next step. I'm not sure what is my best guidance. Ask and it is given. You have so much positive support around you right now, but Creator respects our free will and loves us. So unless we ask, we will not get through this. We won't get that. Unless we request it directly, we're not going to be answered with it. Now, clearing your mind also is just about connecting with nature. It's about getting in the body. It's about creating pleasure in everything that you're doing. Because yes, we're here for destiny. Yes, we're here for a purpose. And some of you might be like, yes, I know that we are here and I'm feeling it, but I just don't really know how to attain it, how to get on that path. And my mind just has so many ideas or so much stress or so much I'm dealing with. Get out in nature. And if you can't get out in nature, sit down and do a simple meditation that I did in one of my private sessions today, even, where you sit and you feel the life force around you. Feel the heartbeats of all of the people in your vicinity, in your neighborhood. Sit down and try to connect to the ley lines of the earth. Sit down and feel the life force around you, all the way down to the tiniest little critters. And just start to reconnect your brain to your heart, to your life force space, so your perineum or your womb, at the base of the spine, where life comes from. Everyone's been in a womb. And sit and feel that life force. Come out of your thinking mind. Walk in nature. Do walking meditations. All of this card is talking to you about grounding, about creating points of action where your focus and your mental focus is guided and you are on track with where you're supposed to be going, or you're on track with what you think your guidance is, that you're acting, that you're building, but then you're also taking those moments to create space, doing yoga, working out, just finding things that truly bring you pleasure. Now, a lot of the time when we need to clear our mind and our mind is very cluttered, we can really check out. And when we check out, a lot of creative energy can just get trapped inside of us and actually make us more tired, which helps us want to go more towards TV, maybe more towards snacking, more towards just avoidance behaviors. So this card is also calling on you to call yourself out on these and to create structures or to create plans when you have high energy, when you're in a good mood, to make sure that when you do hit those low periods or you do hit those more tiresome times and those periods, that you have a structure in place that you can check in to see if maybe it is a call to rest and you need to rest, or if you are avoiding. And make some structures, make some motivation, maybe buddy up with somebody that you trust and know to help motivate you and start to get the things that you need to get done. The other thing that this season is calling for in this spring season on this Gemini new moon of the Phoenix rising is for you to get your ideas organized. What do you want to create in life? What are you here for? Why are you trying to hold all of that in your brain? Write it down, make lists, manifest. How much money do you want to make? What containers would you put that money into? How would you make that money? What is your highest calling? What have been your gaps that are stopping you from that, or your limiters? How can you overcome those? And then once it's all out of you and it's not so swirly inside, you can start to make action plans and break this down into daily steps of how can you integrate this into your lifestyle, which also creates motivation in and of itself because you are actually acting, you are moving forward. And you don't need to wait until you're perfect. You don't need to wait until you have everything together. You just need to start moving. And so in the planning of this, in getting a plan together, in seeing where you have gaps, in seeing where maybe you're lacking confidence because you need some new skills, or you need some support, or you need some help, maybe even hiring out if your business is stuck or something like that, you can reach out for those tools. And that's what the focus on the positive and clear your mind is right now. That's what it's asking of you, especially at the earth element focus. It's asking you to get the energetics into the physical. So I love writing. You could do this on the computer. There's all kinds of beautiful digital plannings and notebooks you can do it on, or you can just write by hand. However resonates to you is going to work for you, and you just need to start working with the flow and cutting out all of the noise and making a plan for where you're at and where you're going and where your heart and soul is guiding and telling you. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be unkind, and it doesn't mean you have to be very stern, but you can be disciplined with yourself, and you can take the time to focus on you. What do you need to do that? Do you need to hire babysitters? Do you need to ask friends for help so you get some alone time? Do you need to go out to like a coffee shop and work from there so you're motivated by the energy of the people around you? Check in with yourself. Focus on the positive. Don't wait for perfectionism, and clear it from your mind so that you can actually start to make an action plan. And make sure as you make this action plan that you are in connection with your soul. You are in connection with Creator. Pray before, meditate before, or meditate while you're doing it. And set up a plan. Where are you going? Who's going with you? Why are you going there? Soul driven. So those will continue to resonate. And like I said, you can make these notes in your journal, you can make this plan, and then you can mark the last quarter moon in Gemini. From right now, the new moon is in Gemini. When you see on a moon calendar that we've gotten to the last quarter moon and it's back in the house of Gemini, check to see what's manifested for you from this reading. Check to see what's manifested for you from this plan. That's how you use a moon calendar. And then the next thing would be new moon in Sagittarius. So the next time we have a new moon in Sagittarius, that will be the time you know that all of these initiations are fully integrated and completed. Even if we get into new seasons and you have overlapping initiations, that's okay. That's how energetics work. They are overlapping. That's why we clear our mind. That's why we write things down. That's why we start to get organized. Another helpful thing for earth elements I'm seeing right now is to organize your journals into different journals. Have multiple journals. Have one that you have for manifesting. Have one that you have for healing and integration or shadow work. Have another that you have for your ideas. And have another that you have for gratitude. Just try to separate all of them so that you can really start to organize the hundreds of millions of energies that are coming through you, especially if you have blocks to your clairvoyant sight, especially if you're trying to open your sight right now, which is another part of this Phoenix journey for the earth element. Now let's talk about the 4 pillars of support that you have anchored in here. First, Mother Mary. So Our Lady of Star Blossom. This is all about seeking within you the light and the beauty and the guidance and bringing it forth in your expression, bringing it forth in how you live. You naturally, every human naturally feels more confident and more aligned when they are dressing how they feel they want to express themselves, when they dress to feel beautiful, and allow this to validate yourself. The Star Blossom is all about individuality that interconnects to the whole. So the individuality is you. If you feel beautiful, if you feel that works for you, let that be the guiding point for you. Don't cut out all the noise. Like I said before, cut out all the noise and don't let anyone else pull you off your path, pull you off your alignment. When you make the lists and you start to make a plan for you to move forward, don't let other people tell you you can't do that. Even if you keep some of these things to yourself and just work with your guides and angels at this time, that is also okay. You can let people be shown and known and brought into awareness of the projects that you're building as you do them, as you launch them. But also partner with people you do trust so you have some accountability and you can get forward moving on your projects, because that is the energy of the Phoenix. You are going to be highly motivated, earth elements. You are going to be highly highly fired up, highly in creativity, and some of you will just really know how to utilize this energy, and you're just going to be bounding along this path, linking your spirit to your earth. And the Star Blossom is integrating all of that energetics for you through your heart, through your mind connection, and through your willingness to take on the lessons that you're in right now. Now, drinking from the Emerald Fountain, Kuan Yin. So this is showing that you have support and healing energetics for anything that feels chaotic, anything that's been keeping you really stuck that you haven't been able to overcome. You can approach Kuan Yin, you can go to the Emerald Fountain, and you can drink from that well of healing. It's a really nice meditation to do in the evenings, and drinking from the Emerald Fountain for you, Earth, might even be restoration of your energy. It might even be coming out of a physical illness. I'm getting that this is just a really pinnacle time for you, where you may have been so enraptured with spiritual realms, so enraptured with spiritual energy because you just feel better in those realms, in that energy. It's time for you to start to feel better on the physical. We need you. It's all hands on deck right now. It's all light workers on deck. And this is the time that if you ask for healing, it is going to be given. A really good time to do this is before bed, because, you know, we're living in a society that's really calling a lot upon us. We're moving really fast, so a lot of pressure, and bedtime is a really great time to ask for healing. Also, I'm seeing here, this is calling forth a connection to the earth element of herbs, teas, natural components, detoxes. This is a really great time to consider some of those things right before summer begins, and to really notice what is feeding you with health and energy and longevity. What is lighting you up, and what is giving you energy, and what is dragging you down? Is it a food? Is it a person? Is it a substance? All of that is coming to light in the Emerald Fountain. But you have access to that healing energy. Now the wings of Isis, beautiful blessing. And tell me, Isis, how does this pertain to those resonating with the earth lessons right now? So the wings of Isis is a beautiful blessing, just of self-worth and trusting the mysteriousness inside yourself, trusting the unique beauty that you came down here on this earth with, trusting that you are here for a reason, you are here for a purpose, and giving yourself permission to take up space, to have a voice, to really put your ideas out there, and do it with love, do it with kindness, do it with joy, but do it with passion. And don't be so kind that you forget to be strong, and don't be so strong you forget to be kind, and don't be so caught up in everything you think you need to change about yourself. Start to accept yourself, start to love yourself, start to say, my soul chose these expressions for this lifetime, and they chose it for a reason. These are strengths and gifts to me, so how can I see that? And Isis will help you through that. Isis will help you see those strengths, see those fortitudes, change your mindset. That's a part of clearing your mind too, weeding out the negative, right? Focus on the positive. You want to take all the weeds out of your mind that have been holding you back. And you can make lists of that you burn under the next full moon, where you just, this is what's limiting me right now. This is what's holding me back. This is what's stopping my dreams. Make lists, get it down on paper, and then burn those things so you can ceremoniously let them go. But then also, it will give you a really good idea of where you have gaps, where you need to build skills, where you need to invest in yourself so that you can bridge these tiny gaps. We are so lucky to live in this information era where so much school and so much teachings and books and information online and ancient wisdom teachings and wisdom teachers are just so prevalent, and you're able to find all of these things very easily and effortlessly. And that is the blessing of Isis, the wings of Isis. And you might even actually resonate as an earth angel, and you might actually be able to activate your etheric wings behind you, because that is so empowering. They're charged up by the sun and the moon, and they can literally wrap around you in moments that you need healing, moments that you need protection, moments that you just need comfort. We are literally in a physical body, an earth, this will be a major earth lesson, that knows how to heal itself. And when you apply the energetics of that, like your angel wings, you can really create massive amounts of healing on yourself, or empowerment or motivation. It's literally like it's like having a generator attached to your body. That's what activating your angel wings are. And there's lots of people out there now, healers, that will activate your rings. I know I really like to recommend my clients go to Kaya Ra. She has really good angel wing activation, but you can just do it yourself by asking, by sitting down with a nice long quiet breath and tuning into the wings behind you, between your shoulder blades. What do they look like? What are they made of? Do they remind you of anything? What color are they? And then charge them up in the sun and the moonlight, and see what light comes off of them, and just activate them. You're completely capable of doing this on your own. If you found this reading and you found my channel, you already have soul gifts. You already have been awakened, activated, and in the light, and you are more than capable of your angel wings. And if you forgot about them and you've already activated them, this is your reminder to use them, especially if you're resonating to earth element lessons right now. Now, south. So north, east, west, south. Okay. So south, Mary Magdalene, she is the energetics. She is the quiet integrator. She loves to work with sacred geometry to help you initiate lessons, to help you initiate new patterns, to help you bring in new programs and protocols from your past lives, from the creational realms, to actually integrate your initiations and to help you elevate past anything that's been keeping you stuck. And when you partner with Creator, when you partner with these energetics, you actually do have the molecules and the tools to create real shift and change. It's been a programming on this earth that we are stuck in things and that we can't change them, but it's a universal law of ask and it is given. So if you ask, it is given. And right there it says you are the universe. So you decide. What are you deciding for yourself? What are you deciding for yourself about what people tell you about who you are, and you choose to believe that instead of you choose to be who you are? What people say about you or to you is a reflection of them inside of what they're thinking, of what they're dealing with, of what they're struggling. They don't fully know you. They aren't you. They aren't in all of your energetics. And we get to choose. How many of us, if you can think of it right now, are living completely different worlds and completely different lives right beside one another? It's a wild times, and while it is heavy and it is full of change and it is full of chaos and peace and love and joy and grief, it is a time where we just have access to so many options, and we can literally choose our whole life, our appearance, how we express ourselves, what energies we express. It's a time where we've overcome a lot of the violence and the bloodlust that our ancestors have, and we're able to respect other people's choices, and we're able to respect the coming together of expressions, or even different religions. It's very amazing times. So for the earth element, Creator, what is their purpose? What could they be activating this spring? Where should they be going? Please give me guidance for the earth element. Earth elements. Thank you. Okay, so counseling and trust are the first two that I would have pulled out. So maybe you've been called to be a counselor. Maybe everywhere you go, you are counseling people. They're sharing their life story with you. They're just see a safe space within you. They see your light, and they just want to, they don't know how to generate their own light, and they want to have some of yours. So just make sure you're partnering with Creator and bringing light tunnels down of you, over columns of light over you, or sourcing in energetic light that's healing you, cleaning you off in the mornings for sure, or in the evenings, at least once every 24 hours. Do this, if not morning and evening, if you have time and you remember. But maybe you're also being called to take school, to go into counseling. Maybe that's been something on your mind, and if it has been, this is your mirror telling you that that's the path for you. Now, counseling, maybe you need some counseling, maybe you need some support, maybe you're going through a deep healing cycle, maybe your changes, your phoenix rising in you right now is making you feel really lost, really shaken up. And I encourage you to look for energy healers and other counselors in modalities that are alternative care, that aren't just medicine based, that aren't just judgment and medicine based. Really find counselors that are based in heart and soul and have many tools in their arsenal and many perspectives and reflections that can actually help you grow, and make sure that they're a good fit. Don't just go with the first person that you choose. You can interview these people and make sure that they're a good fit for you. You can also get counseling from your guides, from your angels. Okay, and if you're being called to become a counselor, start looking at schools. Let your intuition guide you. Start looking into, how can I afford this? How can this be an option for my life? And just start to really tune into that. Start to really tune into, how can I make the life of my dreams? What do I need? What helps available to me? And if you put that out there and you ask, and your guides, your angels know that you're asking that, they will bring resources for you. If that's in alignment with your destiny codes, if you're asking for things that are in alignment with your soul, watch how fast everything just lines up and shows up. And then that brings us into trust. So earth elements, you are actually going through levels of trust right now. You are going through various capacities where your trust is being tested, your faith is being tested, and you are being called to trust this as things are stripped away. So that could look like maybe you've always relied on a job and you're moving into an entrepreneur zone, and it's really scary sometimes to do that. So you need to just trust that everything's going to lay out to you, and that any challenges that arise are also for your highest good. We learn from challenges, we learn from our mistakes, we learn where we had gaps, and we learn where we had fine tunes. A lot of times we get through a challenge and we think it means a no. It doesn't necessarily mean a no. If it's a hard no, it's a hard no, and you know that. But if it's a really challenging time, I have known people who started a business and the store burned down right before their grand opening. That didn't mean that it was a no for them. It was just a challenge they had to get through, and was a purging. Like, it's funny that I would think of this story during a Phoenix time, but literally it was a literal physical purging, and they recognized it as that. They shook it off, took a few days to lick their wounds, shook it off, and then they continued on, and they built it back even better than before. So see something even as big as a fire burning down your store before a grand opening can literally make you build it back even better than before. So don't let the magnitude of a challenge speak to you about your worth. And if you think that, oh, bad things happen to all of us, but if you think, oh, these bad things keep happening to me and it means I'm not supposed to, come back to Isis and work on your worth, work on your deservability, work on your confidence. Mother Mary's helping you with that too. Star Blossom is also about claiming your divine identity. What are you like? How would Creator define you? Beyond all the human misperceptions and corruptions and misinterpretations and judgments and criticisms that come from wounds and projections and shadow sides, what would Creator say about you? What is your soul like? And seek to know that. If you want to meet your soul, Mother Mary will also help you. That's also the lesson of the Star Blossom. So know that you're protected. So I gave you quite an intense kind of story there to just really highlight that even sometimes those really big challenges does not mean that you will not make it, but know that you are protected. So as you are healing, or as you are burning up, you are protected. As you are figuring things out, you're going to make mistakes. There's going to be some tenderness. There's going to be some vulnerability. There's going to be some missteps. Think of a baby deer when it's learning to walk. That's the phase that you're in when you're burning up in a Phoenix stage. When you are resurging and integrating and rising from your ashes, it's new beginnings. You got to go slow and gentle with yourself, and just know you're protected. Your angels are protecting you. Your guides are protecting you. You have almost that, you just have that freshness of naivety. So if you didn't do something right, you're protected. If you made a mistake in your communications, you're protected. You are just learning things, and every beginner gets a little layer of protection before they figure it out. And then nutrition right now is part of your life purpose. So maybe you're thinking of taking your skills for nutrition and herbs into a business. Maybe you're wanting to integrate that into a business you already have. Maybe you're just wanting to eat better. Maybe you're noticing certain foods are making you feel a certain way. And remember, we had talked about that on the East here with Kuan Yin a little bit. And when you're learning earth element lessons, it's really vital that you are feeding your cells, that you are feeding food into your cells that make you feel good, that give you energy, that help you heal. And this is a real big call. Again, when we're clearing our mind, we're checking what's our food like, what's our eating habits, what's our mental habits right now, how am I supporting myself? And maybe that's also coming into food. So if you have been feeling guided to look at your nutrition or help others with their nutrition, this is your mirror. This is your sign. This is what spring is calling upon you. It's really easy as we move into summer and the weather gets nicer to have some more alcohol, to eat more sugar, to just be more lax with our dieting. But also do you know what's in your food? You know, I've always taught in my private practice because I was also I've taught fitness for a lot of years and personal training. Can you read ingredients panels? If you can't read, you know, if you can't pronounce out loud more than 3 ingredients because they have chemicals in it, you should put that package back and down. And you should stay away from boxed foods and packaged foods in general and try to eat more whole foods, clean foods, real foods that are grown from the earth. And that will bring you back to connecting with the earth element, which will bring you back into more harmony and balance. So those are more layers here. Now let's look at earth element lessons of fear. What are you afraid of right now, and how can we transform that to love? So anyone in earth element lessons right now is really being called to focus on the positive, which makes a lot of sense because the earth is going through a lot of changes. We're all here living a physical representation and physical experience. So it's asking you to focus positive. Focus. It's not that the negative that is happening is untrue, but it's how are you framing that? Are you framing any negative, any challenge, any chaos like we talked about before? Are you framing that as that you are a victim? That life is attacking you? That the universe has everything against you? And sometimes we have those messages in our head from our ancestors, it's in our cells. It's something that we had decided or just got kind of trauma looped in for us. So really start to look at these things as you do your planning, your purging, your clearing, and start to just see, where can I focus on the positive? Like, yes, that is happening, and yes, that's a truth, but can I just pause that for a second or just ignore it? And can I turn and shift my energy to what I am grateful for, what I am like, what is positively working for me, where I am supported, where I can see I am loved. So that is just a really, it's a second mirror reflection to focus on the positive. This is going to be vitally important, and it's going to help you jump timelines. It's going to help you shift out of anything that has been negatively sticking you up. And then also you can turn things into prayer. If I'm excessively worrying about something or something's really on my mind, I will sit down with one of my guides and angels. I will write it out in a universal letter. I'll write it out in my journal, and I will ask for help. Or if I'm out and about, I will just pray. I will literally just go into prayer. Sometimes I'm out walking around, and just, you're always thinking to yourself. You're always speaking to yourself. So just call on Creator, call on Holy Spirit, turn it into a prayer. You know, Holy Spirit, Creator, soul, angels, whatever you want, because everything is God at the end of the day, and everything is love. You can even say that higher love, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the highest power of your own understanding. Help me with this. I'm struggling with this. Like, it's been obsessively looping in my mind all day. I don't know how to fix it. It's causing me misery and pain. Please help me. Or it's like, I'm really excited about this. How can we amplify more of it? How can I stay grounded so that I get this done? Because it can go flip side. If you're in a really good mood and you're in a really positive state, you can really start to get over hyper and over excited, overshare, over talk, all of those things. And how can you ground that? How can you make it the best experience and the most useful and valuable for yourself and for others? How can you be free of this? We are, honestly, especially with the Emerald Fountain showing up in the reading, we are all the empaths and the starseeds and the light workers on this planet right now. We're anchoring the light for the ones who aren't awakened yet, the ones who are still sleeping. So there is a lot of heaviness, and asking for help is just such a vital key to, you know, like, oh, I feel really heavy. I feel like I might have picked up energies that are not mine. Can you, Creator, can you clear this off? Like, that's a prayer. And prayer doesn't have to be formal. It can be like how you would talk to your sister or a sibling or a mother, or vent out to a therapist. Like that, you can talk to Creator in the exact same way. And Creator has always answered me and helped me. And Creator has changed my life. So this is why I'm passionate about this work and even do it. Okay, so let's see Those were fears that are arising for anyone resonating with the element of earth right now. So there's been a lot of worry that needs to be changed into prayer, and there's been a lot of focus on the negative and what's not working. Possibly tied to resentments of the past, regrets, things you wished you worked out differently. Set all those aside. What is yours is meant for you. Okay? If it's meant for you, it will show up for you. It will be for you. So just let it go and move forward and start looking for the doors that are open. What is calling you? What is in front of you, opening you, beckoning you? Okay, let's see, how can we bring some of that back to love? So, grandmother energy, grandparent energy, our ancestors, they are stimulated right now. They are rising, the earth especially right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in Canada with residential schools that has awakened a lot of ancestors. There's just a lot of stimulation on this planet as our ancestors rise up to help us, because they have a good foresight on the realms that they're on of where we're headed. And there's a lot of stuff that the ancestors laid down for us that we either don't have access to anymore, we don't remember, it's being hidden from us, or it didn't work for us. There is a lot of violence and blood and tyranny and trauma that has built our society. So there is a very stimulating energy on the earth plane right now, especially, that is connecting us to our ancestors and to the wisdom of maybe what they would have done better. Maybe you're really connected to grandparents that are here right now. So if they're still here on this earth plane and they haven't crossed over to our ancestral realms yet, spend more time with them. Ask them for their wisdom. Ask them about their life. What have they learned? What do they wish they could have did differently? What could they have done better? What would they want to leave you with? What advice do they have for you? And again, you always, just like this reading, take everything through your own filters and your own intuitions. But you can get so much treasure from conversations like that with family members. So this is your call to reach out to that. If your grandparents have passed on, connect to the wisdom of the grandfathers. Connect to the wisdom of the grandmothers in meditation. Do some soul writing with it. Say, I am connecting to the energy of my grandfathers or the energy of my grandmothers or both, and I want some guidance on this situation, and write down your question and then sit in meditation, see what comes through. But connecting with our ancestral energy, whether living or on the ethereal realms, is really going to help you bring back more loving frequency and connect to the unconditional love of creation that we need to be anchoring on this planet at this time. That is all of our light work all the time. And anyway, so let's see. Is there any additional guidance for those resonating with the earth element? Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. So she is, I'm not really familiar with her. I can go off of her energy, of course, though, and we're going to also check the book for her here, because I know there's a history in here. So she is really speaking to me of that courage and bravery that came up in the reading earlier. She is showing up with such a fierce but loving energy, and she says she wants this for everyone. So the reason that I picked female guidance for this spring Phoenix season reading today is because you might be really seeing 888. 8888. I know I've been seeing it everywhere, and if this is calling to you, I'm definitely in the earth element lessons right now. So this, a lot of these things have been calling to me. I have been really in alignment with my changes. So all of these things have been coming naturally to me. It's been really easy for me to stay on nutrition. I know I've been protected, which has allowed me to have more trust. And the counseling aspects is just my guides and angels are helping me heal and strip away anything that's not needed to me. And I'm rising out of my ashes. And so sometimes the heaviness of the world, especially as an empath, it's really hard to focus on the positive. It's really hard to validate yourself. It's really hard to come and be like, no, this is what I feel beautiful. This is who I am. And sometimes it's not met very well. Some people, there's a lot of people on this planet who are sleeping or in high criticism or high pain addiction, and they're trying to wake up and rise out. And when they see someone else rising, they want to suppress it. They want to squelch it. They want to stop it because it makes them feel inferior that they can't do their own rising. So Perpetua is here to actually talk and help us through that. She says to find the courage and the bravery to just still be yourself, and to understand that as you be yourself, you start to have more energy because you're not pretending to be someone that you're not. You are not pretending and spending all of this energy and projecting something you think people need from you. You are actually you're containing your energy, and it's like, oh, you didn't really like me? Okay, well, thank you for excusing yourself. Now I can just spend more of my time and energy on what I'm actually here to do and the people who actually love me for me. And it's less draining because I don't have to pretend to be anything I'm not, even though it still hurts a little bit when someone doesn't like you, of course, or someone doesn't resonate with you. But it's just so much more freeing and so much more fulfilling to be in your full authentic expression. As you're in your full authentic expression, you understand that people that love and support you are there because they like you for you. You didn't have to put on any false pretenses or nothing, any masks for them to like you. And so those relationships tend to be more longevitous, more supportive, just so much easier to be in. And that's all that she's calling to you. So that comes back to that clear your mind. What are you building? Who are you building it with? Who is coming with you? How are your relationships right now? Do you have to pretend to be someone you're not when you're in them? So just a few more things about her. So she's a Catholic saint, and she basically was sentenced to death in a public arena because she was a Catholic, or Christian, and Judaism was forbade in the parts of Africa that she was in. And she kept a prison diary that I guess became one of the most sacred texts, among the most sacred texts out there. And it's considered an extraordinary Christian text, but she describes a visit from her family that are begging her to renounce her Christianity. And she basically just says, like, I can't. I can only call myself by any other name than what I am. And she identified with love, Christianity, at its purest forms. So she is, her name means continuous, and she basically just lived to the death her beliefs. She see this as the healing of the ancestors. The way that we handled things seemed so brutal, but to stand for what you believe in just sends such a powerful message. And look at the power that this happened in 203 CE, and look at that we still look to her for guidance today. We still see her power the power she had of heart to stand for what she believed in, the courage and the bravery, it still lives on to this day. That was an energetic legacy that she laid down for us to lean into, to borrow, to follow. And so this is another thing about focusing on the positive. You can, if you don't feel like you have that energy that day, your guides and angels will help you. These angels are all of Creator. They're all of Creator. All of these people lived exemplary spiritual lives. They did their work. They cleared their karma. They lived in integrity. They wanted to help people. And that was so powerful from them and so authentic and so profound that they are still able to help humanity with it. And they loved Creator so much. They knew we came from love and they wanted everyone to know that. And it's still such a profound legacy that they left, that they are there to help us. And that's why we ask for help from guides and angels, not because we value them over Creator or we put anything above or idolize anything. It's because, like, if I'm not good at cooking, Creator's not going to send me in your house to teach you to cook. It's going to send Emerald, right? So if like, that's how Creator is. Creator loves us. Creator is going to see and value our gifts and our strength and put us in the right position for that, so that we can be the most use to everyone. I wish our jobs would work like that. I wish corporations would work like that. And there are some out there that do that. But like, if you are in alignment with your natural gifts and talents, how useful are you to yourself and everyone else around you? How happy are you going to be? How much more energy are you going to have to put into your purpose, into your plans, into your dreams, because you aren't expending energy going against the flow of the river, swimming upstream, exhausting yourself, right? And Perpetua talks about all of this. So if you feel guided to look more into her story, into her text, and see if you get any motivation from it, any more inspiration, please do so, because she is coming to help all of those in the earth element lessons right now. That's so beautiful. Thank you, Perpetua. Thank you, Creator. Just feel that gratitude in your heart. We're so lucky to know these realms, to know these teachers. And so let's look at what Crystal is calling for our earth elements today to work with. So rhodochrosite, I might say that wrong, RHODOCHROSITE. And this particular card and mandala is connected to the master teacher, Lady Nala, and she's helping you master your sensitivity. If you're an empath, she is helping you use your abilities to calm, to nurture yourself and others, to calm a room, to shift the energy vibration in a room, to bring passion, to bring love, to bring excitement to people, because people really need that right now. They need love, they need kindness, they need hope. And if you can hone your sensitivity in and accept it and love it, and really create some energetic sanctuary, so energetic boundaries, energetic space, which enables your soul to expand, to grow, to be contained but yet expressive, your sensitivity becomes a masterful gift. If you can create those structures, those energetics, to support yourself in that sanctuary, so that your empathic abilities aren't just going wildly everywhere, where you're taking on other people's suffering as if it's your own, you can hone in so much organization and power. And that is really, really needed in any kind of earth element lessons right now, any kind of working with the physical or working with the physical to bridge and manifest your spiritual aspirations. So if you want to take this deeper, you can of course look at this mandala. This particular card deck is Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And she has books with this as well, and you can just get this stone. So hopefully you can see that card and see what that stone is called, since I can't see it properly. And that would be the crystal that you can work with all the way through summer. You can wear it as jewelry. I'm seeing that you can put it beside your bed. If you activate a crystal properly, you can actually get it to work with your energy field from wherever you are in the world. You don't have to carry it in your pocket. Stones actually don't like to be in people's pockets or clothes because they can't breathe very well. And in that, and they like to connect to the elements as well. But bracelets, jewelry, a necklace, anything you can meditate with, or just even sleep with it beside your bed, or have it in a room that you're always in where you're working, or at your office is really good. But I mean, by all means, if you have to and you want it with you, you need to carry it in your pocket or your purse, then go ahead. I know purses as well, there's always so much energy going on, so they say to not to bring it in the purse. Just make sure you clean it if you do that. Crystals are of the earth, and they are extremely strong as well, so they can handle a lot more than sometimes we think they can. Dragon, magic, blessings for earth. Okay, so dragon magic blessings. The dragons have been waking up at massive levels. They went to sleep after being hunted to almost near extinction, and they are so wise, they are so beautiful. They have been misrepresented. Some of them were wounded and caused harm. There's different lineages, different kinds, but for the most part, animals are love, and the beings that love us unconditionally are coming down to help us. And if you want to access that, you can. And I personally have loved dragons since I was a little girl. Remember Pete's dragon? Oh. Anyway, so I just believe that dragons offer a layer of empowerment. They work with many angels and ascended masters, and they're just a really beautiful piece of empowerment for us to have. So this is the dragon magic blessing for earth. So right now you have the dragon of independence. So again, we work out in those polarities, right? Because we're on this earth plane, we have to consider polarities. There's shadow and light of everything. So you can be hyper independent, and you can be independent in a way that integrates into the rest, into the communities, into the projects that you're doing. But you could be so hyper independent that you're out of step with everyone, that you're out of alignment, and that you're dancing the tune of your own dance, which also sometimes has a positive. So in humanity right now, sometimes we think in extremes of black and white, especially on the physical realm, but we actually can really use these frequencies. Depending on the situation, they can become dark or light, they can become good or bad, they can become useful or hindering. So really check in where you are in your independence. Are you independent in such a way that you can integrate and be interdependent within community, that you can join into everything that you're trying to birth on these physical realms right now from spirit? Are you dancing to your own tune to get it out there, to get it planned, to clear your mind, to focus on what's positive and make your plan so you can make your action steps? Or are you so isolated and so out of touch with any kind of help and resources? Because also we need to help each other. We need to get there together. So are you out of touch? Are you just doing so much to your own beat that you have no help, and you're exhausted because you're trying to do everything on your own? Are you so independent that you're not asking creator for help, that you're not partnering with a higher self, that you're not asking for guidance, and you're just kind of winging it and flying forward on your ego guidance, and things don't seem to really be working out for you or magnetizing to you? So just check where you're at with that, and then call in the independence dragon, and ask for help. So this is an ether's dragon, so a lot of light codes, a lot of starlight. Ethers and air is the elements connected to this dragon per se, and it's very malleable. So that's probably why I talked to you about all the ways we could be independent. And then when you're intradependent, you can be independent, you can make your own plans, validate yourself, set up what you're creating, but you still know how to integrate it and bring it into, with wisdom, the community. How will it help others? Will people enjoy it? You're still connected to their needs as well as yours as you create this thing independently, or this vision, or this next set of actions for yourself. So really tuning in, and if you ask for blessings and help from this dragon, you will get it. And when I tell you about the elements of a dragon, so air and ethers, that's the kind of fire they'll blow on you. So this dragon will literally blow light codes into your field that will help you understand and anchor the wisdom of this into your field, into your expression. So that is your reading for Earth elements, and I hope that you got a lot from that. I hope that that was really helpful to your practice, and if you have any comments about this connection or how this helped you, please, of course, leave it in the link below, and we're going to move forward into our next element, which is clear the space. Creator of all that is, we give thanks for truly unconditional loving guidance to come through for the elements of air. Any groups, any astrological signs that connect to air, or any people, souls, empaths, light workers on this planet that resonate to the element of air right now, or are in a learning cycle with the elements of air. May they be blessed, guided. May their projects, their loved ones be blessed. May they walk their golden path to their highest good, and may this reading help unfold them into even more unconditional love, understanding, insight, and blessings in full faith. So Earth was in the Phoenix energy of resurgence, building, and air is in the Phoenix energy of burning. Burning or expansion. Let's see. So the cycle of a phoenix is they grow through their life force, they grow to their capacity, and then they burn up. Okay, they burn up, they burn everything around it down, their bubble, their space, their tiny corner of the universe, and then they reemerge from the ashes. Now the levels of that will be as big as their destiny point is in their life. So we all have soul contracts that have scripted certain lessons, or I call them destiny points, and how you get there is up to you. That's a free will piece, but these things are set things that you are meant to learn from our experience. And in the Phoenix season for this spring, for this Gemini new moon in June, for your life purpose reading here, for anyone resonating with the element of air. So you could resonate with the element of air because you are an air sign. You could just be drawn to the element of air because we're always working with different elements on this spiritual journey to learn and master them, and to come back to a closer relationship with creation, with earth, because we are the elements. It might just be a call for you to learn from that. Air is associated with the mental body. So sometimes it's also associated with connection to the spiritual body. And But since ether's in all of our readings, let's focus on the connection to the mental body. So right now, as you're expanding, so air is going to, with the Phoenix season, it's either going to expand your creative cycles and blow all the fire forward, blow all of your creative projects forward, or it is going to be fueling the fires of your burnout, fueling the fires of you purging everything you thought that you knew and everything you thought was for you away, because you've learned what you've needed to do and you've completed that cycle. So this spring, this June, this new moon, if you are resonating with air, that's the cycle that you're in of the Phoenix. Now, the 2 moon points. Focus on the positive and clear your mind. What is that for air? Show me the guidance for air. So for clear your mind, it's showing me that you have already made a clear path forward if you're resonating with air, that you've already made your plans, that you are now just enacting them. You're enacting the action steps, and you're either in the middle of that or you've just finished the cycle of that and it's time to replan. So if you're resonating with air, decide where you are. Are you birthing out more creations? Is your fire expanding where you are? Or are you at the end of a cycle and everything is burning away, and maybe you need to do some grieving, maybe you need to do some purging, maybe you need to do a releasing ceremony and some letter writing, some letter burning, and just allow yourself to grieve. Maybe you just need a rest. If you're expanding, and you're expanding your fires and you're expanding a cycle, then you should always be balancing in rest and play, but you need to focus. You need to hone in. You need to clear your mind of all of your distractions, anything that's holding you back, tripping you up, sticking you up, and just start moving forward with your goals, with your plans, and know that spirit is behind you, that you are supported, that you are being unfolded. And if you're aligned with soul and things are coming real easy to you too, that's an extra sign that you are supported and you are on the path and you are moving where you're supposed to be. And then stay focused on the positive. What's positive for you? You're probably already doing this if you're aligned to air. I just did earth. Air element lessons right now. You are probably already riding the waves of positivity. You're probably already really good at ignoring what's pulling you down, unless you're in that grieving cycle, unless you're in that it just ended burn up stage. Then you might need to actually do a little bit more work to focus on the positive. And again, do what you need to. Make some recordings of prayers, make some recordings of even affirmations. Go listen to motivational books or podcasts or YouTube channels, and lean in. That's another thing that we're all here for right now. We're all here to help each other. So lean in. If you don't have that energy, lean into mine. Lean into mine, sister. Lean into mine, brother. I'll help you. And just borrow it. Like, you can crystalline photocopy any energy that you're seeing. We never need to take from anybody. We can literally ask our guides to take a crystalline photocopy of those energetics and place it in our field. And so borrow if you don't have it on your own right now, until you can create your own, and keep that as in your mind and your front center as a prayer. I am borrowing this until I create my own. Use guided meditations. Connect with other people who are doing it. Let people who are where you want to be your guide, your compass point, your inspiration right now. Okay? That's how you clear your mind of any chatter, any doubt, anything that is blocking you right now. And then also clear your mind of judgments. Let yourself grieve. Don't put a huge time frame on that. I don't think you should stay in grief forever. So there should be some sort of time frame where it's okay, I'm doing this even though I feel scared, or even though I feel sad still, or I think there should be some forward movement of that, whilst still allowing for all of your layers to process the grief as you need to and let go. But you might just be ending small cycles where you just know that okay, that needed to end, and you might not have that much grieving. So it just is going to depend on you and the magnitude of your grieving cycle right now. But again, I'm going to come back to journaling, writing it down, getting it out. Where are you going? Make a map. write it down. It's inside of you. So just sit in meditation, light a candle, say a prayer, put on some beautiful solfeggio frequencies and get clear. Where am I going? Who's coming with me? Why am I going there? And if you don't already have that, like I said, if your fires are expanding right now with that air energy, you're already going to have that. And you just, if you get sidetracked or you get squirrel brained, you just come back to that. That's why you have the list. Go back. Okay, what am I missing? Where did I come off track? What's my next action step? Get yourself back on track. If you have just closed the cycle and it's a small cycle, like I said, and you're not grieving that much, where am I going? What's my next steps? What's my next part? What's my next vision for my life? Also right now is a huge time of remembering the future, and I'm getting that the air element is actually really, really connected to that. Really connected with ease to the Akashic records, which makes sense because air is kind of like ethers, right? There's light codes on air too, right? And prana, life force energy, is in air. So it's probably one of the elements that is most connected to ethers, to spirit. But yeah, you can access your future right now, remembering the future. We already planned it, we already did it, we already mapped it. And so tune in, sit down. I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but it's been a really big guidance piece for me, where you're sitting with your future self and seeing, what do they act like, what do they talk like, what do they move like, what are they saying yes to, what are they saying no to, and how can I meet that now? Because your future self is relying on you to get them there. The choices that you make right now are laying down that path. So are you pioneering a path forward? Don't wait for someone to come give it to you. That's another lesson of air right now. Focus on the positive and pioneer, make it yourself. Maybe you've been waiting and this is your sign to pioneer a path forward. Maybe what you're waiting for does not exist yet and you are here to create it. See how that feels. Sit with what I just said. So for the air element, let's talk about Mother Mary's guidance, Kuan Yin, Isis, Mary Magdalene, I mean. So Star Blossom, how are you showing up for air element? Air lessons. So beautiful connection to the stars right now, to the moon. So anytime you can get stars and moonlight on your skin, Mother Mary is saying, get out there, do it. Right before bed is going to be a really good time to ask for prayers of support, of healing, which will also tie into Kuan Yin. If you can sleep where stars are touching you, it's just a really good connection point. Like the air group, anyone who is resonating with air element lessons, anyone who's resonating with air right now is going to be highly, highly connected to the stars. So if you can get out and be in the stars, sit with the stars for a night, especially in the grieving cycle and phases, it's going to be really, really healing and empowering for you. Beautiful. And she's showing me right now a beautiful baby blue starlight cloak that she's putting on your shoulders to help you with whatever you're doing. So if you're amplifying good feeling energy and you're just flying forward and making things happen for yourself, that cloak's amplifying it. If you're grieving and you need healing, that cloak is sustaining you. It's giving you what you need. If you need clarity and direction for your next steps, that cloak is giving you what you need. So you can just sit down with a nice breath right now and receive that beautiful cloak made of baby blue stars woven from starlight. Beautiful. All right, so drinking from the Emerald Fountain for air element lessons. So this is a call for healing. Drinking from the Emerald Fountain it's not even a call for healing. It can be, but this is also just a call if you need support and you're calling for healing, or you just want even some empowerment or some cleanup. You're just feeling like a little bit heavy or a little bit overwhelmed. That's also the Emerald Fountain. You don't have to be going through excessive amounts of pain and in need of excessive amounts of healing. But Emerald Fountain is showing for me with the element of air, of a full cleaning of your mental body, releasing what's heavy, releasing what's not yours, getting rid of any self-doubt, any self-sabotage, any patterns of not showing up for yourself or attacking yourself. Like, they need to be addressed. They need to be gone. They need to be brought to the light. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was talking to myself like that. Well, let's not do that anymore. Creator, can you help me? Holy Spirit, can you help me? Kuan Yin, can you help me? Bring me to the Emerald Fountain. Great meditation before bedtime, or a great prayer request. But she's showing me that even right now, she's pouring her divine, sparkling diamond bright white nectar on your head, and it's just helping to completely harmonize your mental body. So air element, that is just a beautiful healing. If you want to receive that right now, just open your palms up to the sky and receive that healing from Kuan Yin. Wings of Isis. So the card says uniting with your angelic self. So for air, I feel like this is, again, the blessing I talked about a little bit in Earth, of activating your angel wings if you haven't already, but using them. If you have them activated and you know what I'm talking about, and you've seen your angel wings and they're behind you, charge them up with moonlight, charge them up with sunlight, meditationally, or truly spend out time outside in nature during these times and charge them that way. But Isis is also protecting you with her wings. Isis is also helping you move through obstacles, helping you raise your frequency, helping you rise above anything that is threatening to kind of pull you down and pull you into its frequency that would be blocking your path. So use this to your advantage. She's showing me like the air under your wings, like she's helping you soar higher, she's helping you jump timelines, she is helping you just move up. So anyone who's going through air right now is going through massive upgrades, and a massive upgrade could be an initiation through grief, an initiation through a cycle closing, or it could be that expansion of your fire, expansion of your business, expansion of your creativity, expansion of your ideas, expansion into promotion. But this is not a career and money spread. This is more of a life purpose. So we'll go into that on the June monthly, a little bit deeper with that. But it came up now too, so you might be looking at promotions, you might be looking at stepping into more leadership, you might be being offered more opportunities, more responsibilities, just out of nowhere, just people seeing all the hard work that you've put into now and really recognizing you for that. And then the last one is you are the universe. So I'm just pulling some purpose cards while I'm talking about this, but Mary Magdalene's you are the universe. So she is the integrator. She is the divine program. She codes in what you need, and she pulls out the codes that you don't need if you're open to that, if you ask her to help you. So that's what she's doing right now. And just as in the Earth reading, you are the universe. What are you choosing? Are you choosing properly? Are you choosing forward? Is it lighting you up, or is it hard? Are you feeling tired, or are you on point? And so just notice, just be aware, and just remember, like, I am creating my experience. So what do I want to create the next one forward? And notice how when I say that to you, I'm creating my experience. How do you feel about that? Do you believe that? Do you agree? Or do you think like, okay, I don't know, and meet that resistance, challenge it. Why do you think that? Why don't you think you're creating your own universe? Think back to times where you have manifested exactly what you thought of. And why wouldn't you be able to do that now? Because you feel stuck? Because you feel blocked? Well, where's the resistance? What am I holding on to? What's limiting me? That's what you're being called for right now if you're in an air element learning cycle. Let's see. Life purpose. So what purpose is calling for you? During this Phoenix spring season. Okay, air. Okay, so maybe you're gonna look at these cards: bodywork, creative expression, family, yoga. So maybe you're actually, these two first. Maybe you are actually expanding your professions in these. Maybe you're a massage therapist. Maybe you're an energy healing, physical therapy. Maybe you're expanding into that work. You're expanding your business and you're looking in more. Maybe you are, taking more trainings and just deepening your yogic skills, your expression, or maybe you're just in need of these things. Maybe your body you've been pushing yourself really hard, you're in a grieving state or you're in an expansion state, and you need a massage. You need an energy healing session. You need some physical therapy, or maybe you need to move. So this bodywork call is calling for that. So again, take it through your intuition, what's right for you right now. This is a general reading, so it can pertain to a lot of people, but maybe you're being called into that field. Maybe that's where you're expanding. Maybe this is your next steps after this cycle closes. Maybe yoga is your next steps, but yoga in general is very anchoring and grounding. So I'm getting that for those of you that this is not a career for, you're being called to yoga. Find yoga. There is hundreds of thousands of teachers, and they all teach a little bit differently because that's the beauty of yoga. And that's the beauty of a modality that you can make your own. YouTube has hundreds of thousands of teachers. Find one that you like. Find a method you like. Not all yoga is the same. And every teacher gets to take it through their filter and teach it a little bit differently. And maybe you'll love their voice. Maybe you'll love their method. Maybe you'll love their pace, but keep focusing, trying, and expanding until you find the what part that you enjoy most. Also, daily practice. That's what consistency, the yoga is coming in. So get some consistency in your spiritual routine. Get some consistency in your practice. Get some consistency moving throughout your day, because when you consistently are opening your chakras, cleaning them out, bringing healing energy into them, bringing light codes, bringing wisdom codes into your body, you are going to be more grounded, you're going to have more presence, you're going to have more expansion, and people are going to notice you more. Opportunities are going to be more attracted to you. And since the mental work is going on here in this expression of the air element, it's just a really nice place to be for you to have that air anchored, to get out of your mental space as it's being healed and cleansed and balanced and harmonized by guides and angels and teachers that are helping us. And it will help you create more space for that healing to just come in. And also just to get out of your head, clear your mind, get out of your head, move into your body, bring in more pleasure. How can you contain pleasure? How can you just live in more joy and pleasure that you've created through the movements of your body, through the practices of your day? It's also a healing piece. I'm getting some in the closing of the cycles that you just had, sorry, sometimes it's hard for me to, in my mental images, get the words with all the energy coming through, but you were overworking your body and you need some self-care now. You need some stretching. You need to come back to some time for you. I understand you needed to get some deadlines done and you really wanted to burst some of the energy that has been coming through the last 6 months. Like, it's just been so intensely creatively driving, but you need to just bring it back and take some time to care for your body now, okay? So expansion, maybe you're expanding your family. Maybe you're planning to have another child. I'm getting a lot of people in this air group are just like, I want another child. Or you're feeling really happy in your family life right now. Maybe you just had another child. Maybe that's a cycle that was closing. Maybe that's a cycle that's expanding for you. But family is really, really important to you. And for those of you that don't have children yet, maybe don't have a partner, maybe aren't expanding, family is still in the forefront right now. It's like, how can you connect more deeply to the family that you have? How can you bring in more connection to them? And whether they're living or in the ancestral planes, can you light a candle for your ancestors every day? Do you know your ancestors? Do you have pictures of them? Is there someone in the family you can talk to and have stories and maybe know their birthdays? Like, how can you bring more family together in the physical plane and the energetic plane? And to just have that focus of connection and of closeness and of even maybe recovery, maybe forgiveness, that is a really big call from your soul and your heart right now for anyone in the Earth Element Lessons group. Beautiful. And creative expression. So how are you expressing yourself creatively? Is there any stagnant energy that you're not expressing because you don't know how? Is there anything that you need to pull forth and really know that you are really know that you are expressing yourself? And it doesn't have to be for public, it doesn't have to be for money, it could just be song. It could be expressing yourself in the way you dress, it could be expressing yourself in the way that you make food, or through recipes, or just trying a new hobby. It's just a really stimulating time for creative energy right now as we enter this Gemini season in general. But I find that there's a lot of us that have had a lot of gestation period through this past winter season that we just left, and they haven't actually acted on the ideas and the creativity coming through them because of either self-confidence pieces or knowledge gaps, skill gaps. And if you're feeling tired and lethargic, but you're still sensing that you're in these cycles that I talked about, that's why you need to create something. You need to express yourself a little bit more. Alright, so let's move into our next section of who is giving us extra guidance right now. Dragon magic blessing. All right, so right now Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. So Hestia is just a beautiful, beautiful Greek goddess who just helps to create warmth in the home, warmth in sanctuary. It helps you create warmth in your family dynamic. She is just a beautiful sister of really settling into your home, really settling into your roots. So if you're laying down, like I said, you're in that cycle of laying down all of these roots, all of these ideas, all of these plans are being enacted for you, and you're in that cycle of growth. Hestia is going to help you make them really warm, really balanced, and really longevitous. If you're in a stage of grief because the cycle is ending, Hestia brings you that warmth, of that fire, of that comfort, of that like coming home energy, and just really making you feel like you belong and like you can intuit the next steps. Now, Hestia is just really, really potent and beautiful energy for you to have when you're moving into a new home, you're moving into a new phase of your life, you're moving into a new office or a new area. She's just really helping you bring in the warmth, the energy, and anchor creator into your space so that you can really, really flourish, because you just feel really held and really strongly empowered through your root chakras. She can also help with like when you are moving through life or from one thing to another, or moving for real from your home. She can really help you pull up those root chakra roots that we put down in one of the cleanest, most peaceful, loving ways, and then she can help you lay them back down and really get centered and settled in a really fast way than if she wasn't involved in your move, and if she wasn't like they're supporting you. If you're just trying to do it all again from yourself, from your own chi energy, which is what a lot of us tend to do, because we just forget to ask for divine assistance, or we don't think we're worthy of it. So if you're healing your mental body in this air element lesson, you might need to look into that too. So Hestia is, again, more warmth, protection, sanctuary, and she is actually, she's actually a Titan, and she is a sister to Zeus if you follow Greek mythology like I do, and she's just, she's the sacred fire that sits in the center of our hearts and in the center of our homes. And if you need your house to be blessed, this is some angel that you can lean into. She's there to help you. She's your extra support for this spring season as we move into summer. And if you're feeling like a little bit detached from your new beginnings, from your new anchorings, your new creations in life, she's going to help you bring that warmth in and feel more connected to them. And if you've been feeling disconnected because you're closing a cycle and you're grieving, she's going to help you to feel more connected to the lesson that was inherent in it, more connected to letting it go, more connected to moving forward and showing you the brightness of your path forward, the brightness of your next step, and the reason why something had to end. If you are struggling with that part of things of like, why did this end? She's helping you find the reason, the warmth, the love again, the purpose within it, and to integrate the lessons. So that's really, really beautiful. She's also helping you create sanctuary. So whether that's sanctuary in your energy field or that sanctuary, needed sanctuary in your home, both are needed. A lot of us are, especially as empaths, running around with our energies open. Sometimes we're busy, sometimes we just don't think of it, sometimes we don't have a consistent spiritual practice daily. You know, even if it's 3 minutes, just set your energy field. Set your energy field. Kind of like plug into your soul star chakra above your head, plug into your earth star chakra below your feet, and contain your energy field in sanctuary. Not that you are scared and need protection, or that we're always constantly worrying, although protection is a vital piece. I just don't want it promoting fear. I would rather say you're in sanctuary, that outside energies cannot interfere with you or influence you in negative ways, because you are contained and you are sovereign in your own energy field. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you, goddesses. Thank you for helping us, sisters. Sister angels. Okay, so the crystal that you could be working with in this cycle, all of my air element lesson or resonant souls, is Rihanna, goddess Rihanna, and Amazonite, and she's bringing the energy of integrity. So integrity, we are conditioned on this realm that we have integrity from the rules of society that society puts around us. But when you're really connected to Creator and the love that we came from, integrity comes naturally to you. But sometimes it can falter or be put to the test when we're going through grief or we're closing a cycle. So really check where you are with integrity. And even when you're laying out something new, sometimes we get so caught up in the to-do list and the doing of things that we can lose integrity of quality, or we can lose integrity of our actual first vision and initial intentions in our project. So bring yourself back into integrity by asking yourself, like, where you're at. Where were you when you started? Are you integrity with your vision? Are you integrity with what you said you were going to help? Are you integrity with helping yourself? Are you integrity with your health? Like, are you in integrity with your word? Are you honoring what you say you're going to do? Are you lashing out of pain or grief, and that you need some things, and you need to sit down and see what you need? Do you need some affection? Do you need some support? Do you need some rest? Do you need some time? Those are all integrity pieces. So Amazonite is a beautiful stone that will help you really align with integrity. And you can get jewelry if you want to. Yep, bracelet would be okay, or a piece of jewelry that, as you feel inclined, if you're really drawn to the stone. It's actually one of my favorites. But I just keep it in my home. I really like to activate crystals. I make grids, and those grids work with my being when I'm not here. I like to just sleep with a certain piece or a couple pieces near me when I'm going through a cycle of learning or a cycle of creation. So whatever you feel guided to do, go get yourself some Amazonite and just have it with you. And I love big stones. Like this is a good medium size one, and so is this, I would say. But this is just the average size of a piece of earth that I would buy and have with me. I mean, I do have smaller ones as well, but like these are probably like the smallest that I would go. I really like to have really big pieces. Like I have pieces even bigger than this. I like to have big chunks of rock in my home. I love being close to the earth this way, and I just feel like it's just so powerfully grounding for me, especially living in a city, to have really nice, strong chunks of crystal. So, okay, so dragon magic protection. So and dragon magic protection and blessing. So I know that we have had dragons waking up on this planet for the last little while. They've come to help us with these final stages of evolution. Dragons are extremely wise beings of love and light. They're often misunderstood. They were hunted pretty crazily in the Dark Ages, so they left this planet, or they went to sleep, or they themselves are very connected to elements, so they merged with the elements of our earth and have stayed hidden or sleeping in those places, in lakes, in rivers, in mountains, within the earth, within the earth center. Some of them went back to their home planets, but they're coming back to help us, and their energies are available on the energetic realms. A lot of angels and guides have dragons with them because of the wisdom and the power and the harmonizing frequencies that dragons bring in. So I want to integrate this into this reading. So dragon and magic energy for my air elements is dominance, believing in yourself. So there is good and there's shadow and light to everything. Selfishness can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing, right? Dominance can be a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing. So if you're allowing someone to dominate you in a negative way and manipulate you out of living the life of your dreams, well, that would be a negative expression of dominance. In this case, dominance of believing in yourself, of dominating poor behaviors or dominating procrastination. That's where dominance would show up as a good energy and a good lesson of overcoming. So this is what this dragon brings in for you, is the mastery of dominance. How can you master these things on this earth where we live in a polarity, right? So that's what dragon magic blessings are bringing for you right now, is this dragon is helping you understand dominance in its shadow form, in its light form, and helping you understand where you are on the scale and how to bring yourself forward or backwards, or attune yourself properly so that you're using this force that is inherent on this planet, this activation, this program that runs on Earth, to the best use, to the best of your abilities. And right now in this air element lesson, for you, you are really using dominance to push your dreams forward. You are really using dominance to believe in yourself. Or if you ended a cycle and something needed to leave your life, you might have even called that in because you're believing in yourself so much that had to end. Even if it's painful for you and you didn't really want it to end, or that's what your mind is telling you, that's the story looping right now. In the soul realms of why this ended, in the divine timing of your life, this ended because you are believing in yourself and you are saying, no more, I will not put up with that anymore. And that's why that ended. So this is a dragon magic blessing for you. The dragon of dominance is connected to fire. It is connected to the fire element, but of course in the fire element comes air because they couldn't breathe the fire without air. So that's how it's coming back to the connection within the air element here. And yeah, you're just finding so much self-confidence in this, and so much humility and power, and you're learning about leadership that is led in dominance and how that makes you feel, and you're really taking those steps to if you're in a leadership position right now or moving into a leadership position, you're really taking those steps that you're not going to lead with dominance, that you are going to allow people to be free and give ideas and give opinions and collaborate with you, as opposed to it's my way or the highway. And I really love this for you. Beautiful. And let's see air, my little air group, my big air group. What are you afraid of right now? Since Hestia came up in the reading earlier, and family, and then now this one, I can see now that some of your fears are actually to do with your family. Can I sustain my family? Can I protect my family? Can I move forward? And can I sustain them? Like, can I feed us? Can I keep this roof over our head? And then if you couple that with the energetics of your mind clearing and your mental body healing, because that is a lesson of air, especially in this Phoenix cycle that we're in for spring, is like, is my inner guidance real? Is it trustworthy? Okay, so yes, it is. If you have a pure heart and you're connected to Creator and you're connected to your guides and you're connected to love, without all the dogma, without all the definitions, doesn't matter what religion, doesn't matter what you resonate to as a higher power. If you're connected to those things, you are protected. If you're connected, your guidance is trustworthy. Now, sometimes when the mental body is clearing, it can be harder to know like what guidance is my intuition and what guidance is just my ego, or what guidance is just stuff leaving my field. So what I would say is start to keep a little intuition journal. A little thing of like, oh, I have this intuitive insight today that this would happen for me, or that this is coming in. And then note it, maybe even with like a date and stuff like that. And then if it happens, or it doesn't happen, or it comes out like a certain kind of way, like a little bit different than what you first thought, write that down, note it, and then sit back and remember those moments and really remember the feelings in the body, especially when intuition was right. How did you feel in the body? Where was it in the body? How did that knowing feel? How did it come up? Was it super loud? Was it super peaceful? Was it super quiet? And you just knew, and just really start to memorize how that felt in your body, along with the mental definition of it, because the mind will define our energy for sure. But sometimes the ego is just so chattery and there's so much emotions and things swirling that it can be confusing. So that's how you unconfuse it. You use readings like this as your mirror. So I should already be telling you things that you were already looking at, thinking, or calling in, or seeing, but weren't sure of. That's also an intuitional mirror. This should also be like, oh yeah, okay, I thought that's what was happening for me. Okay, so now I'm hearing it twice. Okay, that's a good mirror. So things like that will help you strengthen your intuition and really hone in on the accuracy of your intuition. And then you really start to understand like the attributes of the ego. Although I love our egos, they're our operating system. I do not think they're the enemy. I think they need to be retrained. I think they've been trained by this planet and programming in a bad way, but they mean well. And when they come in service to spirit, watch out, world. You can get so much done. So that is how you can tell if guidance is real and trustworthy. Just note it, give it some time, and see how it goes for you. Also, sitting down with guidance and sitting in meditational state and sitting with, like, say you're presented with a choice, like I could choose this way or I could choose that way. Sit down with that guidance and see how it feels to choose the one choice. Then see how it feels to choose the other choice. And that is just also a really good way to start to feel like, oh, okay, so that's more ego. Like I can actually see if I went down that path, like how I would be more in my ego and would be feeding more of my materialism or that, right? So those are good ways. And your home is protected by angels, so they're just reassuring you. Your guides are reassuring you, like you are fine, you are safe, you and your family are safe. Everything that happens for a reason, and it is meant to be. And I truly believe and have lived over and over again, and I've been lucky enough to be blessed to be so emotionally involved and just trusted with people's lives and doing these readings, doing extreme healings with people, to see this, that even when something that you feel like is like the best you could have had was taken away, it is replaced even better. Like the universe, was it Daniel Laporte? It was like a quote I had on my everything for so long, was like, the universe only trades up. Like, it's so true. You only get better. What happens sometimes though is we freak out if we lose something or a cycle closes and we think that was the best, and we get locked in our own erroneous thinking, and then we create more strife and more chaos and more upset. And then all, like, when you're on this path and you're connected and you keep surrendering that, even if you're feeling it, you all of a sudden get to the other side and you're like, oh, it is better. I freaked out for nothing. So that's also how you'll strengthen your intuition and just really start to know that you're protected and unfolded, and that endings are meant to be endings, and it just starts to calm you. I think that's what they say about aging. Like, as you age, you get calmer. Well, I think it's because of this. So I don't really believe in aging the way that we've been taught about it. So how do you bring your fears back into balance? Well, we just talked about some of them. Is just like really trust that your home is protected. Like, this is your confirmation, okay? And then start to like do some play with your intuition, do some tracking, do some check for the mirror, sit in meditation, test out one option to the other before you move forward with it, and or ask your higher self, go to sleep and wake up and see what guidance came through. That's a beautiful, beautiful way to see about inner guidance. Or something maybe you felt like your inner guidance told you to do and then you just didn't do it. What happened? What was the outcome? Journal about that. That's also how you can strengthen intuition and really start to know. Like, I've had guidance come through where I was like, oh, really? Like, I don't want to do that. But because I did this practice and I knew in my gut, like the way my gut was feeling when it was telling me this guidance, that was true. And that always worked out for me. Whereas my mind was like, but I want to do it this way. And it's like, I've done that before when I felt this like kind of gut to mind disconnect. And whenever I followed my mind, it has not worked out for me. So then I followed my heart, and all of a sudden everything worked out, even though my mind didn't agree with the guidance. So those are ways that you will just strengthen your intuition and your guidance. You're like, what is it? Integrating your inner guidance over time. Okay, so how can you bring your fears into love? How can we transmute them? So one step at a time. So again, lots of little steps make big dreams come true. And so for those of you that are fanning out your creative cycle, that are fanning the flames of your life and what you're creating, you are already living that. You already understand that little steps are going to make your dreams come true. And you are, yeah, you got that action plan in front of you. If a cycle just ended and you're looking towards your next steps, make that action plan and then start actioning it every day. Small steps, small choices. Remember, we talked about going to your future self and seeing like, how do they walk? How do they talk? What do they believe? What are they saying yes to? What are they saying no to? Like, that is all the small choices that we're making right now are laying the foundation for that future. So where are you at in it? And don't overwhelm yourself one small step at a time. And don't expect perfectionism, like sometimes we do, and just think like, oh, I have to do all these huge steps and I have to do it this way or it's just not going to be. No, small steps add into big results. And I think sometimes in this celebrity soaked culture, we think we have to be doing things so big and so grand to make them worth anything, to make them accomplished, to get validation from others so people notice. And it's just really not true. If you can truly love and validate yourself, that is so rewarding and so inspiring. So that's a balancing piece. So we thank you for this reading for air, Creator. We thank you for this blessing on the air group, and we're going to start to move into our next one. space to start our reading for the fire group. Creator of all that is, we ask you to provide unconditional loving light and true divine guidance that best helps those resonating with the lessons of fire, the element of fire, the signs of fire. We ask for continued love and light on all projects, relationships, loved ones, expressions, healing, and the path forward. We ask for our true divine guidance to come through, that we all suspend our egos and listen with our souls in full faith. Amen. Okay, fire. Those of you resonating with lessons of fire or learning about the fire element or in a fire sign or just drawn to fire in general right now. As for this spring reading, we are in a phoenix season. We are in this rising sign of the phoenix. And for fire, how does that resonate and connect to fire? You have just begun or just integrating the beginning stages, or like just entered that first cycle of a new beginning, and you are fired up, you're passionate, you're motivated, like the beginner who's so excited about what's going forward. But you've also integrated all the wisdom that you've come with from this. Now, again, with the Phoenix, the amount of resistance that you have to the change being called upon you, that indicates how much chaos you're going to be into this, how much challenge, how much strife you're going to have in a Phoenix stage, or peace. Okay, so wherever you are on that scale is basically completely related to the amount of resistance you have to the changes coming through you. Now, with the fire elements right now, I'm getting like this is just a really great time for you. There are a few of you in chaos, but again, if you just check in, where am I too attached? Where am I resisting? You will literally balance out. For the majority of you right now that have found this reading, it's literally your time. It's like your divine timing is coming through. You are made for this rebirth. You have literally learned so many initiations, so many lessons, and it's just your time. Like it's just really powerful, beautiful energy of like, we're doing this, it's coming, and the universe is with you. Everything's just like lining up for you, and you are, yeah, you're just on fire. Literally the fire element, like you are just on fire, not in a Phoenix burning phase. That is air fueled. You are on fire, like you are flying through whatever challenges you have, whatever initiations you have. You are flying towards what you are building, and you are connected. For you, the elements in the moon here, so you can look at these, you can say clear your mind, focus on the positive, and you can check when the new moon will be in Sagittarius next, and that's how you'll know this cycle, this reading, this phase has fully integrated and completed for you, as well as the last quarter moon in Gemini. Okay, so the next time that the moon reaches those places, this whole healing and this session will be integrated if you used it to your fullest advantage. Now, clear your mind. Well, you're on fire. You're already clear. You are focused right now. For you, for the fire element group, you're just sort of like, we got this. Like, we're no doubt here. We are focused on the positive. We know that other stuff exists, but like, I'm ignoring that because that stuff just is like heavy weights dragging me down. Yes, it's true. Yes, it exists. Bad stuff happens to everyone. That's just the way of life. Those things make me stronger. I'm fired up right now. I've been doing my paces. I've been doing my training. I've been doing my stuff and I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Like, I conditioned myself for this and I'm here for it. So that is where you're at, fire. Really exciting energy in that. You're already on it. So if you need to clear your mind, you're journaling. If you need to go outside and be with nature, you're on it. If you need rest, you're integrating it. If you want to play, you're integrating that as you are building, as you are making those foundational steps for your future. You have your plan, you're acting on it, and it's just like bam, bam, bam. So to continue on this wave so that you don't burn out, make sure that you keep prioritizing rest and play, because it's really easy to get some money in, to get motivated, to like just get really excited by all the people and all of the things coming in and just forget to actually take a rest. So don't burn yourself out. Use the fires. Now know that you're in a high phase right now. It ebbs and flows. Life ebbs and flows. So you're up here. And there is going to come a time where you're going to need to rest a little more. It's going to be a little calmer. So just ground yourself now and ask your guides and angels to like prepare yourself now and keep yourself grounded and like ride these waves when it's high and it's like full of potential and it's full of like focus and you got it, do it. But when you are called to rest, take a vacation, do it. I know I said that you were in balance for the most part, like in the day-to-day living, but I just want you to be aware that sometimes we get super excited and we forget. So this is a reminder that if you get to a point where you get super excited, you start to forget, bring it back, dial it back in. You're so focused on the positive right now because you are seeing the positive manifest in your life. And it's so easy for you to be like, okay, this is so motivating because I wanted that to happen. I manifested that and then it did. So this is amazing. So you're already just focused on the positive. So this is, love is free of goosebumps right now. Let's check in with Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, and Kuan Yin and see how these pillars, north, east, south, west, how they're supporting you or how you can plug into more support from these 4 directions. Okay, so Our Lady of Star Blossom. You're like fueled on starlight right now. Like you're getting light codes, you're getting wisdom come in, you're divinely connected. It seems to me that in this balance, you are on point with your spiritual practice. You're doing it every day. You are doing the things you need to do with your nutrition. You're doing the things you need to do with your health. You are hyper focused, like I said, and you're fueled on starlight. Like you're connected to source, you're partnered with source. Your higher self is guiding you. You're going. You're riding through. You are just on it. And the starlight is fueling you. It's recharging you. It's helping you remember. It's helping you integrate your wisdom. It's helping you birth your manifestations from spirit to physical. You are breezing through challenges because of the positive attitude that you have about them. You're like, everything's for my growth. Everything's bringing me more love. Everything's bringing me more. Everything's just amplifying the good that I already have. So that's how your star blossom energy is working for you. And it's just really beautiful. Like I can't even say enough positive things about your forward movement right now. And even just how you're caring for your body, how you're caring for your health, your perceptions of the world. So this is what this speaks to. You can amplify it by more meditation, more flowers in your life, sacred geometry, getting out in nature. All of those things will help you, but you already have an imbalance, so don't worry about it too much. Just intuitionally, if you wanted to add more stuff to it. Drinking from the emerald fountain, healing. Beautiful. So this card is speaking to you, these mastering the element of fire right now, these working through the lessons of fire, this group that is drawn to fire. You guys have drank from the Emerald Fountain. You accepted your healing. You integrated it and you were like, hey, this is amazing. Let's move forward. That is gone from my life now. I can't believe it held me back for so long, but like, thanks. Cool. And then you're like, oh, okay, there's a little tweak here. I'm gonna go back to the Emerald Fountain, take it. So you're again, just in such balance of like, okay, I have a need for this, so I'll accept it, I'll do it. There's no guilt, there's no shame, there's no procrastination. It's just like, yeah, I need healing for a sec. Let me take it, integrate it right away, go back onto my path. Like, beautiful, beautiful reading. And then the blessings of Isis. So the wings of Isis are fanning your fires, fanning your creativity. You're connected to the mysteries within yourself. You're connected to your universal waters, which is balancing your emotions and helping you stay in really strong emotional intelligence, which is keeping you in a heart to brain like type of connection, because all of this is also always centered in the womb, the 3 energy gateways, and you are literally just in such a flow and balance between like creator's connection to you and then your heart wisdom, and then integrating all of that through to your ego. Your ego is in service to your spirit, because it's like, yeah, let's do this. This is so cool. And it's not even fighting you. It doesn't have any of those issues. You're not even really running into a lot of challenges there. What's this? So when you do run into challenges, again, how you handle them is just like, it's in balance. You're like, hey, this sucks. What do I need? If you need to have some emotions about it, you do it. But then you're just like, it's just like you process it so deeply that the emotions don't last that long. And then you're back to healing, and then you're back on your path. Like, it's like, it's just like, so it's like such a precision of movement and fluid and integration of wisdom and integration of your path. And to me right now, the fire group, your destiny codes are activated. Like, you're in your divine timing. You're just like, it's here, it's time, I'm doing this, I was born for this, I'm prepared for this. And you're like, no. You're also really connected to your remembering of the future. You are like, okay, my future self needs me to do this. This is how I walk, this is how I talk, this is how I am, this is how what I accept in my future, this is what I don't. And you're integrating that even in. So in some of the other elements, it was even like a call to even get connected to that. You're already connected, it's already integrated, you've got it in your plan. And then the last one, you are the universe. Well, wow, you're already doing it. Like, you're it's amazing. Sorry, I'm getting like so excited from the energy coming through this reading. You are the universe. You know that. You know, you're like, I am the universe. Like, I am creating this. This is what I want. You're like scripting your way forward. I see you doing all kinds of manifestation techniques. You're focused. You're like, okay, I need to tweak things here. If you get somewhere that you don't like, you're just like, oh, okay, let's just tweak this. Like, let's just change it a little bit. And then you do. And then you move forward again. So that's, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. This is how exciting the energy is. All these cards just popped out of here. So first of all, books and strength. So you're obviously using education, either education you've previously attained, or right now you're on a path of where you're like, okay, I need to learn this and this and this. Let me just look it up real quick. Let me just connect. And like, I'm seeing that they're not even just talking about books. The guys are showing me like Google, internet, like courses, resources, connections you've made, networks. Like, you're just trusting yourself to like figure it out. And you're in such a good energy, and you're so integrated with all of your being, all of your presence. Your soul is there with your ego. Your spirit is there with your physical manifestations, that you can figure it out like immediately. It's amazing, which is creating strength for you. And it's getting noticed. People are noticing it. Like, when you walk in a room, you're drawing attention, and you are like, yeah, you're getting noticed. You're getting opportunities sent to you. Even right now, if like you've already entered some new opportunities, that's what we're even talking about in this reading. Like, you rose from the ashes, you closed some cycles, you did your grieving, and now you're in it. Like, you're in you've already regenerated, and you're like in the living phase before the cycle repeats of the phoenix. And sometimes these can go on for a very long time before you burn up, but You're like unbelievable in strength and power right now, and people are noticing, and people are taking note, and you're motivating them, and because of the energy that you're at, you're pleasure to be around. So people are like gravitating to you, and they're noticing it, and they're thinking of you for their forward opportunities too. They're like, oh, how could we work together? How could they help me? Like, how could I help them? Like, that's the vibes you're on, and that's the vibes you're creating, and that's the vibes you're spreading and igniting in others. And it's just really cool because you're activating others' potentials. We got family. Oh, these popped out again. So this came up in, I think it was our last one, in air. All right. So in all this forward movement, in all of this thing, I think, again, because you're already in balance, you're already doing it, you need to focus on body work. And this, for you guys, I'm getting it specifically for, you need to get, like, I don't know if you're already doing it though. Like, I just feel like you're already doing it. So it's like, if you know you need an energy healing session, you go book it. If you know you need a massage, you go. If you know you need a chiropractor, you go. Like, you're working out right now. You could take your yoga to the next levels. That will only help you in a way. But if this is a call for a business, so if you are already working in massage therapy, chiro, energy healing, physical therapy, fitness training, or a yoga teacher, it's calling for you to bring more creativity into that. You have some new ideas, and you might already be doing it because it seems as if you're already there, or you're already planning it, or I'm the mirror of like, okay, yeah, that was my max roof. Bring in your creative ideas. What has worked for you? What has got you to this point of focus and clarity and presence and power and like attunement? And how can you bring that in for other people? You'll be able to figure it out really easily right away, systems that work, and just integrate it into your business. If you are in these businesses, do it, integrate it. Okay. And then family is really important to you, but again, because you're in such a balance right now, you're bringing your family into this. Like, you're making sure you have time with your family. Maybe again, it's something that came up in another reading, but maybe you could integrate in, like, light a candle for your ancestors. Get some stories about your ancestors and just kind of get to know who is in your family and what are some of the cool things that they did. You might have even already sent off an ancestry DNA kit, even as I'm speaking of this, because you're just kind of more curious about your family. So, yay, love this for you. Love this for you. What a powerful energy, excited. So I would say, from what I'm feeling right now, like, make sure you ground yourself. It's such an exciting time. You've been waiting so long for all of this stuff to come into balance that you got to make sure you stay grounded, so that you don't burn out. Just because you can doesn't mean you shouldn't overdo. And then, yeah, just stay grounded, because if you stay grounded, you're going to be able to sustain it for long term. But honestly, right now, you're pulling out a legacy of, you're laying down the legacy and an energy foundation that will be available to you for a long time, just because of the way you're doing it in such balance with burnout in mind. So it's amazing. Do you have any fears right now? Okay, fire. So like I just said, I just talked about grounding. I just talked about, like, you probably might be moving, like, really fast. So don't be afraid to take time to make decisions. Like I said, you're laying down an energy foundation of a legacy of sorts that you don't need to rush. You're going to feel excited and maybe want to rush, and maybe that will lead to some, like, overconfidence stuff or overthinking maybe, but just take time making decisions. I feel like even this, for some people, you're making a huge life decision right now to do with family, or to do with career, and you don't need to rush. You're in a job, or you're in some sort of financial situation that's completely sustaining you, and this decision is your life path. Yes, and yes, it will still be there for you, so you don't have to rush into school. Because I'm getting the sight of some of you picking a school or picking something. And then it was being so like jazzed up from excitement. And then like a few months after that, you're like, oh, that school is better. And I really wish I would have went there. So maybe even like you could wait until a little bit into the summer, or even some of you the end of summer, to really decide where you're going. Okay, so just take your time with that. And even with your relationship, people go through ebbs and flows of cycles. Where you are right now is not, it's normal. It's a normal natural state, but not many can achieve it right now with all the societal influences that we have of chemicals, foods, like stressing out, anxiety, overworking, overstressing, overdoing. Not a lot of people can get this state right now, and the heaviness and the evolution, like not like people are trying to get here and they're going to get there soon, but it like you're there a little bit ahead of people. And so you might get overwhelmed with opportunity too. So just take your time to get there. Oh, and your partner, if you have a partner right now or a love interest, they might not be at the same level as you. So you just need to have some patience and just delay any kind of like breakup kind of decisions or like judgments of like, well, I'm doing this and I want them to match me. And like, I don't know why they're not here with me yet. Like try to ground that and try to like get some divine, like get your higher self involved with that kind of thinking, because they might just need a little bit of time to catch up for you. So don't be too premature in your judgments. Okay, so I'm getting that through. And then focus upon divine and perfect health. So you're actually so in balance that this is part of what's a driving factor for you, is that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm being healthy. You're so healthy. You're fine. You're okay. Especially if your nutrition's on point. I mean, we can always improve and grow. So if you want to, without obsessing or freaking out, look at your nutrition and see, am I like, is there something I could clean up? Is there something I'm still kind of leaning on or eating that's not making me feel good? You can, of course, do that. Remember the rest, the play, the grounding, humility, taking your time for decisions like that. Those would be the pieces I would say that if you have to look at anything in health, but like your mental focus, your emotional balance, your nutrition, your even like you're working out, you're killing it in your career, business, job, whatever you're doing right now, like those are all balanced, and that is like that's a balanced health picture for me. So maybe that's just the reassurance that you needed. And because you're nervous about it, like you're like, am I being healthy? Is this okay? I think it's also throwing you for a loop because you worked so hard to get to this point of expression and of balance that now you're like, pinch me, is this really happening kind of thing? So yep, it's happening. Pinch, pinch. Oh, wow, beautiful. So how you're bringing the fear into love and transmuting any fears that you have is you're just being yourself. And I talked about this in one of the other readings today. When you're yourself, you are just, oh my gosh, you get so much more energy. You're not pretending to be anything you're not. You don't have to project anything out. You don't have to like pretend for an approval, and everyone around you knows who you are, accepts who you are, and they're okay with who you are. So it just makes for just an easier living situation. So you're already doing that. So keep doing more of that. This is your confirmation. Okay. And anywhere you find you're still hiding, like I said, there might be some relationship stuff going on right now. Show yourself. Show yourself, be yourself. Don't worry about if you're going to make them feel bad or they aren't caught up to you yet or they're not at the same level as you. Don't worry about that. Stop it. Just be yourself. Be you. I don't see you as a bragger, but like just be yourself. Don't be afraid to like be proud of yourself and share your accomplishments. It motivates people. And the person, your partner, is going to be more motivated by you sharing your accomplishments than you trying to like kind of not hide it, but you're kind of trying to downplay it because you're worried about like rocking the boat there. But don't do that. You'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be motivated from it. So beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so let's just see extra blessings, extra help, extra support for you today. So So for all my fire lesson learners, my fire resonators, the Lady of Fire herself, Sekhmet, Fire Master, Lion, strength, courage, bravery. She is helping you. If you have a challenge, you need some extra power, you need some extra to lean into her. She'll help you. She wants to be there for you. She is ready and she's there with you and she's so proud of you, and she's probably even helping you feel all of this powerful, beautiful energy. And any volatility, any anger, any excessive stuff that comes up to burn up as you go, just you get 2 crystals, that makes sense. Yeah, just keep going with it. Like give voice to your anger. I honestly think you're already doing this in balance, but give voice to your anger. Write it in some sort of like universal letter. Send it, like, don't ever send it like to the soul, but like send it out to the ethers. Trade your pain for peace. Transmute it. I feel like you're already doing that, but don't stuff it down, because then you're gonna get burnout. You're gonna get too much fire in your field. But this is the balance of fire. How do we use it to cleanse, to purify, to make new? How do we use it to strengthen without burning out? How do we use anger as a call to change and integrate it as like a kind of check-in point or learning point for us? So Sekhmet, you can lean into her energy and help you with that. She's also associated with lions. So anytime you see lions, just remember your bravery, your courage. Remember that you're in balance, and just do a quick mental check-in. Is there anything I could even be doing better? Or do I need rest? Do I need more play? Is there anything I need? And trust yourself, trust the answer, because you are in balance right now. So you truly can trust that. So I pulled cards. You actually pulled 2 crystals, moss agate and green crypsiferous. So beautiful, beautiful stones. Master Lyran is working with Cicerus in this particular pull, and Master Kumathi is working with the sacred ecosystems. So this is talking to me about these stones. Again, not seeing that you need to have jewelry. I don't know. I actually think you should carry the ecosystem, the moss agate, around with you. Put it in your car, put it in your office. And the green chrysoprase should be in your kitchen, and it should be in, or the kitchen or the room that you're in the most in your house, getting kitchen. It should be around your plants, and it should be in a small piece, should be by your bed, in your bedroom, because it's going to help work with you while you're sleeping for discernment and ecosystem. And that's just going to help to even create more balance for you. Balance in the ecosystems of the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body. It's actually connecting you more to dragon magic energy and connecting you more to source. You are just in such a balance that the elements are balanced within you, the elemental learning is balanced within you, and you're co-partnered with Creator. Like, you're just like, Creator, guide me, and Creator's doing it, and you're just like, hey, let's do this. No resistance. It's really good. Well, barely resist. I'm sure we all have some sometimes, but you've cleared it. You've worked really hard to clear it, and like, you should be like, this is your accolades for that. This is your validation. This is like, we see that you worked hard to clear this. Good job. You did it, and you're on it. And your whole life isn't like the validation of that right now. Dragon magic blessings is the dragon of miracles. So this is actually water dragon, and water codes emotional balance, but it's like the emotional frequency of your body is actually like connected into extreme emotional intelligence, and it's in its natural state of, your emotions are supposed to be a compass point where Creator helps you to feel good when you're going in the right direction, and you've renewed that, you've restored it, you've balanced it. There's no chakra fractures, there's no chakra balancing you needed for here right now, because you've worked really hard to bring all of this into balance. And like, good job, you did it. Like, you did it, and it almost seems like a miracle to you. And so soak that in, sit with that gratitude in your heart. But you put a lot of work into this. So yeah, it's a miracle, and you have that miracle energy because that's how other people are also seeing you. You are in a really high frequency of love. So you're actually creating a lot of shifts for people, which is miracles. Shifts in fear, perceptions of fear to love. That's a miracle, as per the Course in Miracles. So you're making a difference. And the power that you're exerting and the balance that you're bringing, you are like, you worked for this. Like, you wanted to help charities, you're doing it. You wanted to be giving back, as well as like being a light worker in your day-to-day living. You're doing it. You're making an impact. That's probably what the family too for you is community. Yeah. So like the amount of people that you're connecting to, like that's the star blossom to the networks. That's what I was seeing before. I didn't understand. There's like networks that you're making. Just huge nets of stars connecting. So you're bringing together so many souls in such a profound way. And it's you have the miracle energy. You can lean into this dragon more, but it's working with you to create miracles and to create and sustain change around you. And it's really beautiful. Really beautiful. So good job. Ooh, you are energized. I love this for you. Creator of all that is, we thank you for closing this reading for the element of fire. We ask for continued blessings on fire's projects, loved ones, and path forward. We ask for continued integrations of all lessons into peace, into love, in full faith. Amen. Creator, please come through with divine guidance for the group that resonates with water or learning any lessons with the water element. Thank you for clearing out their heart. All right, so we have that Phoenix energy. We are in the season of Phoenix. Maybe you watched all the readings. Maybe you just watched your own element and you're coming to the timestamp, but we are in the season of Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is a beautiful energy of change and creation. And where are you, my water group? Anyone resonating to the lessons of water, to getting to know that element better? Where are you? Let me see. Season of Phoenix, and you are you're also in the, similar to fire, you're also in the regenerated living phase, but you're at a further cycle down it. You're at the more of the maturing of your cycle, and you're literally, so whereas fire just now was at the beginning of a new beginning of the cycle, you're way into that cycle. You're not burning up, you're not imploding yet, but you are on your way to that. You're on the way. You might be living, it's going to be different for, it's a general reading, right? It'll be different for a few of you. So some of you are going to be like, you're kind of in the middle of the cycle. You've matured into the cycle. You are living your best life, and you're comfortable in the cycle, and you've got your footings in the cycle. You know where you're going. Your excitement has kind of dulled a little bit because you are in it. not complacent, but maybe a little bit. Depends on what you're doing. Some of you love what you're doing. Some of you are like, not sure if this is for me. And that's when the burning starts to be called in. But you're, again, like I said, you're not at the burning phase. You're not going to ash. You're not imploding anything yet. But you are integrating. So you're integrating what you need to do to deepen this cycle for yourself. You are integrating more. You're making it more. You're looking to bring back that fiery passion you had when you first started everything and everything was in balance and everything was just soaring to you. Some of you are still maintaining that. And some of you are just laying down that legacy, that path. And then some of you are looking to bring in a bit more, to bring in a bit more clarity, to bring in a bit more of like, okay, I built this vision. So like, where are my next steps specifically to do with where I am right now? Okay, so you're not calling in next steps of like full guidance of like, where am I going? You already knew where you're going. You're there. You're living it. You just need some more like next steps to kind of fine tune the visions that you're building and creating and living within right now. And so that's where the clear your mind comes in for you. And again, remember, you can look up moon calendars, and the next time that the moon is in Sagittarius, that's the date when all of this will be fully integrated, or the last quarter moon in Gemini. That's the date when all of these initiations will be integrated into your being, into your vessel, into your life, and the cycle will be complete, even if we enter another season and a new layer of initiation start to come upon this in a new season. So let's look at you. So how are these pertaining to you right now? Clearing your mind. Okay, so you've done all you've worked through, you've got some resistance coming up because you're just unsure. But this kind of resistance is that like stress provoking resistance that makes you really ignite your path and really like, ignite a fuel. It's just like an ignition kind of clarity questioning as opposed to like a weeding, or it's like, it's like when you buy a house, it's like stressful. There's all these things you have to do, but that stress is so worth it because in the end you have a new house. It's like that kind of resistance, that kind of stress, that kind of tension. It's like a really good, it's uncomfortable, but it's really good for you. And you know it's going to be really good for you. And you know you're going to get answers, and it's kind of how you process. So that's what you're doing right now, is you're clearing your mind and you're just focusing like, what's next? What is not, like what's not needed? Like, what I don't need to focus on certain things. What do I need to focus on? And you're just getting really clear that way. For you, you're focused on the positive, and how you're focused on the positive, this group of mine that's in water, you're just really balanced. You're really like emotionally balanced. You're like, okay, if something comes up, you're just figuring it out. You're super calm about it. Sometimes. Sometimes you have a panic moment, but it's okay because you're living your emotions authentically. You're letting them arise as they need, and then so they don't stay as long. So that's emotional intelligence. That's emotional balance. And you're really grateful right now. You're really like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing what has been built and what has come out of all of my efforts. And I'm so grateful for that. Like, how can we make it more? And so you're really focused on the positive in that way. You are really like, just attaining positive action, positive wisdoms. You're like, anything that rises as a challenge, you're using that as like, how can I grow from this? How can I learn from this? How could this improve it? Why did I need to learn this? What was I doing before that was like, that brought this in? Like, you're just integrating in like a really powerful way. It's just really calm. And I love that. Okay, so Our Lady of the Star Blossom, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Isis, and Mary Magdalene, north, east, south, west. That's the corners that they help. And these are the pillars of support around you and that you can lean into. So Lady of the Star Blossom, for you, you're just drinking in nourishment. Like, you are drinking in nourishment from the ethers. You are drinking in spirit energy. You are just integrating it into all of everything that you're doing, and you're making sure there's enough to sustain others, and you're helping other people to the well. So for you, you're just like, yeah, you're in it. You were seeking to be able to sustain others, and now you're just living it. So that's what the star blossom is showing up for you. And you can keep just sourcing from source and asking for extra energy, asking for extra motivation, inspiration, and you take enough that you can have enough for yourself and enough to share for others. And that's a really beautiful balance. So that's your north quadrant. For your east quadrants, drinking from the emerald fountain. So you know the benefits of drinking from the emerald fountain. You've been using that for a while. So now you're bringing others to it. Now you're like, okay, you need healing. Let's help you out. And for those that can't access these spiritual tools, that can't maybe access these realms yet, you're bringing it forth for them in a way that's accessible. You're lending them your sight. You're lending them your gifts so that you can make it accessible to them, and you can show them, and you're helping like introduce these ways so that they can access these points themselves. And that's a really beautiful place to be. Kuan Yin's working with you. You have a really strong sense of compassion. So you actually have a lot more patience than other people would with things that people really do lose patience for. And there's a lot of like upheaval in the world right now. There are people that are really resisting their lessons. So they've spiraled into homelessness, or they've spiraled into their pain addictions and trauma looping really, really bad. And entities have come into that and are feeding off of them or controlling them in some ways. And you just have a lot of emotional maturity and spiritual maturity and foresight for this. And also you're not scared of it. Like, you know that love is the most powerful force in the universe. You know what guides walk with you. You know what powers walk with you. And you are just, you're just doing what needs to be done as it needs to be done. And you're having a lot of compassion for that. But you're also really in mastery of your empathic abilities, in the point of like, you know that that's your suffering and this is not mine. And although I feel for you, and I'm going to help you the best I can, and I actually have solutions coming forth as I witness this going on for you. And I know how to act them, and I have the resources to act them for you. So I'm going to help. That's not mine. And the more that I take care of myself, and the more that I am healed and balanced, the more that I can help you, and the more that I can give back. And it's just a much more empowering place than feeling everybody's pain and taking on everyone's suffering as if it's my own. So that's it's really beautiful. So congratulations, because that's a big feat, and many are trying to attain that, and many are on their way. But for you, the group in this water element, any of the elements, like there's a lot of people coming to the path where you're at. That's why you found this reading. That's why you found this channel. Your light workers, your leaders, your pioneers, your spiritual path forgers. People are coming your way, but you have to experience it first, because you're the leaders. You're going to go through it first so that you're able to guide other people through it. And that's where you're at. And it's really beautiful. Wings of Isis for you. Just blessing you. She's just pouring blessings and miracles down upon you, and like things that you seemingly thought were impossible, or all of those solutions when you do see extreme suffering, because you are kind of in the front lines of it. I see somehow, maybe in your work, maybe in your career, maybe it's just a heart passion for you, and you've just been down trying to help the homeless, trying to see solutions. It's a lot going on for you, so give me a moment. But like Isis is just blessing this within you. Isis is just like, you're acting from like a very open space. You're like, okay, guide me. Like, okay, I see this. I don't actually know what to do. Help me. And you're very open to the guidance coming through. And that's the Isis is like helping you with that. Isis is just like supporting you in that. It's like, okay, you're surrendered. You asked, you trust. Here it is, and just feeding you ideas. And you're just super connected into the primordial realms of Ma. And you're just nurturing and giving out that mother energy, that like, even if you're a man, you're just giving out that nurturing mother, caring energy, parental energy, I guess, that we really need right now, and that lots have lost in the chaos of resisting their path, or just being so overwhelmed by society and the dare I say, the traps that society has set in motion around people to try to keep them away from their power. So, you are the universe, Mary Magdalene. She's the integrator. She's the programmer. For you, this is really showing up as oneness. You are like how you're in the, not in the just the I heart of like, how can I move forward? You are like, you are in the we heart. How can we move forward? How can we do this better? How can we all be okay? How can we, without being like, okay, like that person's not ready, so I'm not going to drag myself and like drown with them. Like, it's like, I'm going to focus on who's ready. That's also focus on the positive for you. I'm going to focus on who's ready. I'm going to meet people where they're at. I'm going to give them as much help as they can receive. And then I just keep moving forward, and Source, my partnership with Source, is funding all of this. So I'm not even tired from this, because I know we are all one. We are the universe, and we're building this together. So how can we build a better experience for all of us? And that's where you are, my water group. Beautiful place to be. Like, your heart that I'm feeling here is just so inspiring. So like, thank you for being you, and thank you for walking this path, because a lot of people see what's going on in the chaos and it triggers something in them, because that's triggering a lesson and a karmic breakthrough that they need to have. But like, some people are, especially empaths, are really struggling with knowing what's their suffering and what's someone else's, and being like, well, I don't want to have good if everyone can't have good. And you're also doing that, but you're doing it in an empowered way where it's actually making good for you and good for everyone else. Whereas like the other way is more of like a martyr syndrome, where we're all just down in the lower vibration, really upset about the suffering, and now nothing can be done because now we're paralyzed into inaction. So good job. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all of you are needing some body work, I think, lately, because that's the third time that has come up. Okay, so all right, so here's a couple things. So these ones here, you could be working in those fields, okay? You could be in body work. You could be energy healing, massage therapist, physical therapy, doctor, chiro. You could be doing that work. You could be a healer. You could be a combination of these things. You could be an environmentalist. You could just be enacting some of these things in your own personal being and your own personal way of living. Well, no, like you're healers. Everything I just talked about, this group of water, you are healing. You are like, you're social workers, or you're like, you're involved in some sort of setting like that. You might be working at community homes. You might just be helping like the homeless, like that. You're a healer. You might be in energetic healing. You might be an acupuncturist. You might be a herbalist. You might be like, you're a healer, okay? You do just need to remember to take care of your body. And honestly, if you are in massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, fitness training, like, you're also a healer. So just make sure you're taking care of your physical body. Make sure that you are partnering with Source to do a light shower every day, that you do an energy exfoliation and you clean off anything that's not serving you, or that you might have picked up from others that is not yours. So make sure that that's front and center for you, and that you're caring for your own vessel and your own body, as well as that of other people. I feel like there might need to be some balancing for this group in that. You might be just getting so much work done in a day that you're neglecting yourself. So really check in, tune in. As soon as you hear this reading, tune in. Do I need an energy healing? Like, do I need a chakra rebalancing? Do I need like someone to just come clean off my energy field? Or do I need some body work? Do I need to be touched? Do I need, like, are my muscles sore? Am I having any kind of like pain that I've just been ignoring? So just really tune in with yourself. If you work in these fields, if you really identify with what I said as a career or profession, and you're also really caring about the planet, just start to check. Is what I'm telling people to do, how I'm treating myself? Is am I caring for myself in the same way? And how can I step into my next steps in this? Like, how do I need to rest? Have I been doing so many healings and so much work that I've like a little bit depleted and I haven't really noticed? And then how am I impacting the planet? How am I impacting the planet? Am I helping the planet? Am I rushing through solutions so quickly that I need to slow down, and I need to check if I need to recycle more? Maybe I need to compost. Maybe I need to just not create so much waste in what I'm doing. Maybe that can't be helped. Like, there's needles and things that, physical therapists and stuff use, that you have to use sterile, clean ones before, but maybe there's just like a new way that those can be recycled, or maybe there's just some way to integrate care for the planet, okay? And then crystals, I think you need more crystals. I think unless you already have a lot, if your house looks like a crystal shop, then no, you don't need that. And if your house looks like a crystal shop, you definitely don't need that. But just maybe revive some of those crystals. Maybe they need to be charged under this new moon tonight. Maybe they need to be charged into the full moon. And then maybe you just need to pull some of them out and start to use them. Make some grids at home and link them to your energetic body to support yourself. Okay? And so, yeah, it's really just a really good place for you to be in. And you can use crystals to fill in any energy gaps or any energy needs or any integrations that you are going through right now that you kind of feel you just want some guidance on, or you're just not really sure. You've been feeling kind of like tired, or you've just been feeling kind of like unsure of something or of a direction. Crystals. Your crystals will help you. You already have some. Maybe you need to get a few more. We're going to pick some for you in the next little section, section here. So let's see what fears you have that you're working through. Okay, so some of you are working in such negative situations that the heaviness can drag you down. So again, those light showers are going to help, like just a tunnel of light coming down over you, bright white diamond sparkling light is just going to really help you and to refocus on the positive. You naturally like to focus on the positive. Like I said, you have a really good sense of compassion and a really good integrated wisdom, really good integrated pieces of like ways of viewing the world. But sometimes you, as an empath, pick up other people's energies that you're not cleaning up very well. So you do really need to clean yourself off, and then positivity will be your natural state. Now, there's some stuff right now going on in your life too, some decisions that are going through work or decisions that are going around you that it's going to have a positive outcome. You're going to be okay because you're worried about it. But just keep visualizing it working out. Keep visualizing it, like all the best case scenarios. Just keep visualizing, especially right before you fall asleep. And then you will really anchor in that favorable outcome. And you can also pray on it. And if you ask for something and it is not given, then it was not in a soul contract. And there was some other lesson behind it, and your soul knew that, and everything is always working out how it should be. So just remember that now as I share that with you, and just really trust that everything's going to work out in that situation that you've really been worrying about. So let's see how to transmute some of that fear back to love. For all my water elements, my water elements, connectors, all those learning about the nature of water or just resonating to water. Okay, so the decision on this outcome is going to happen very soon. So that will help to transmute a lot of this energy. And you're going to remember what I just said about the visualization of the positive outcome, the trusting the positive outcome, calling it in. It's all gonna work out for you in the best way possible. And especially because you're such a powerful visualizer, you're so balanced to have gotten yourself here. All the work that you did, you've integrated this new foundation of being and living that is just phenomenal. And positivity is your natural state, and all of that's going to just really show in the outcome of the situation. So I don't know if this is a promotion. I don't know if this is funding for a project. Yeah, it's a really beautiful place for you to be in. Okay, so keep being in gratitude. You are most of the time, but some of those days when things feel a bit heavier and you just don't feel as positive, come back to gratitude. It's going to reset you up right away. Like I said, positivity is your natural state. So even if you're feeling heavy, you're feeling worried, just start being thankful. And you can be thankful for outcomes that you want to have happen, like future outcomes. You can just be thankful for it now. I'm so thankful this is happening now, which I think you already knew because you're scripting. But like scripting, if you're not scripting yet, you should be, because you're a really powerful manifester. Like, I feel so grateful and thankful that this has already happened. Like, that's scripting. That's part of it. There's books on it if you want to read more, but it's really, it's just like a really high time of gratitude for you. And especially after this whole situation works out with your work, whether it's a promotion that's going to enable you to help more people, or get into like a higher position of connection. That's, I feel like, it's attached to this too. Or it's just going to help support your family more, your lifestyle, or you're going to be able to have benefits to get some sessions done for your own body self. Like, all of that's coming up here. And again, general reading. So it's going to be a little bit different for each of you, but there's very positive circumstances coming out and things that you've been waiting on to be decided. Okay. And gratitude's going to get you there faster, and gratitude's going to get you there sooner. And you're going to be so thankful when it comes through from all the practices that I've already reminded you to keep front and center. All right, let's look. My kitty has decided to come and have a cuddle. So she's making it hard to hold the cards. Let's see who's helping us. What extra blessings do we have? Oh, the blessings. One breath out. All right, well, same stone as one of the others. So, okay. So, extra support you have in the situation is Saipho, the poetess. So Saipho is a beautiful master of words, just knew how to bring every situation into pure poetry, into pure love, and just knew how to look at things in a way that made them love, and continuously brought joy and passion into your experience. So if you need to lean into that, ask her for help, ask Creator for help, connect to her through Creator. But just know that this being, she's there. She's helping you. She's helping you with your wording. She's helping you with your positive outlooks, your expression. And she wants you to love yourself, your body, the same way as you love life, and the same way as you try to help others and show up for others, okay? She's just reminding you of that. I don't know if you've been kind of hard on yourself lately, or you've maybe just been working so hard, it would look like, that you haven't been taking care of your body or yourself, but your body needs some love, and your body needs some positivity from you too. So she's there to help you, and I don't know, it's kind of sounds corny, but she's like going to help you make everything come across like poetry. I don't know if that's, perspectives, words, the way you speak, the way you interact with others. So it's kind of like bringing romance into your life. Interesting. Okay, so the stone that you're going to work with is green Cryosephrus. I'm not sure how to say some of these names sometimes, but Master Lyran works with you on this, and this is discernment for you. So discerning when something is worth wording and when something is worth just letting go, surrendering, and being in. Discernment is also just one of your superpowers, that you're able to discern from when something is yours and something is not yours. But you do need to bring in some more discernment between your schedule, like when to balance taking care of yourself, when to say no, and when to say yes. So this crystal is going to help you. You can sleep with some right by your bed, under your pillow. And I would have a bracelet of it and carry it on me in this certain circumstance, because it will help you bring balance into your self-care as well as into your working. Okay, so Dragon Magic Blessing. You have a Dragon Magic Blessing of bliss. So you have the energy of bliss working with you and the dragon, and this is a water dragon. And so a bliss dragon is just to cherish the day. Use bliss to fuel you. Use bliss as your emotional compass. And of course, some stuff's hard. Some stuff we have to go through, and not everything is bliss. I think that's a major misconception, that everything is spirit worlds is rainbows, butterflies, and sunshine. But you have the dragon that's going to help you discern that. You have the dragon that's going to help motivate you with play and joy and fun. And you bring that into other people's lives, because people have become way too serious. There's been a lot of financial hardships and strife. Look at what COVID did. And people just need to laugh and to smile and to be in that positive state. And sometimes they just forget to be giggly and to be like little kids and to be reminded of the power of laughter and the power of joy. So that's the Dragon Magic Blessing that you have and that you are giving to others. And you are able to lean into this energy of this being to help you deepen and take it further if you need to. So, Creator of all that is, we give thanks to all of the my cat. We give thanks to all of the beings and blessings of this reading. We thank you for guiding all of those connected to the water element, learning about the water element or associated with water element signs. And we give thanks for this reading. We thank you for blessing their projects, their loved ones, their relationships, and anything they're trying to birth, keeping them on the golden path, keeping their ego in service to their soul, and helping them to rest and care for their body as well, in full faith. Well, I hope this reading helped you. I hope you liked this reading, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again on our next one. If you liked this video, please subscribe, click the link below,